Sandra Allen says former employers Dasher Lindsay and Ralph Isles owe for babysitting fees. The defendants are countersuing, claiming Sandra made false accusations to Child Protective Services.
Miss Allen, you did babysitting for the defendants.
Correct.
On several different occasions, several different periods of time. And it is your claim that you are owed some wages because you were let go from your job.
Yes.
And you had worked 30 hours.
Correct.
The defendants, while they seem to acknowledge that you were owed wages at the time you left, they say they really owe you nothing because you made a false claim to Child Protective Services about the way that they care for their children, and they are counterclaiming in the amount of $3,000 because of what they say that you put them through. Miss Lindsay, when and where did you find Miss Allen to babysit for your children?
Well, Miss Allen was our children's first babysitter.
And you have 2 children?
We have 3, ma'am.
How long did she babysit for you?
This last time was for 9 months.
And prior to that?
It was off and on for a number of months.
And she was a good babysitter?
Yes, ma'am.
Took good care of your children? You
Yes,
felt
ma'am.
comfortable about leaving her with the children?
We trusted her, yes, ma'am.
Good. Miss Allen, then I'm going to come to you. I want you to tell me what happened that caused you to call Child Protective Services and when?
On numerous occasions, the kids would not have enough to eat. They would ask me, can I have some more? I was like, well, there's no more food. And I would offer them, like, okay, give me $100. I'll be more than happy to go to the commissary. It's base where the food's a whole lot cheaper. And, you know, I'll get the food and stuff like that for them. No big deal. No, no, no. We're going to go out. We have our monthly budget. And every end of the month, they go to Sam's and everything, come back with the same thing. And we do the same thing over. The kids' shoes were too small. I purchased a pair of shoes for the 4-year-old girl. We had to go up 2 sizes, and that was in the end of '06. I bought the shoes for her, and I started working for them in August. So that time, her shoes were too small. We bought the baby shoes. She was not a year at the time, and the kids were not getting baths. The dad would go out of town. Every other week, he'd go out of town. No big deal. Mom said it's going to be a long week. Could you give the kids a bath? And I would. But when Dad comes home at 5:30, I would not give the kids a bath. I come in at 10:30 in the morning. The kids had the same clothes on that I put them in the day before. I was like, did you guys get a bath? No, 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 Miss Sandra, could we get a bath? So I was like, well, it's time to get dressed, so we'll just change clothes, and we'll just go out and do our stuff and everything.
What did you tell Child Protective Services when you called them?
That the kids were being neglected and weren't being supervised properly.
Go ahead.
On one occasion, Miss Dasher told me personally that the neighbor down the street came in and told her that the oldest son was sitting, they have a 2-story house, and the son was sitting out on his window throwing things out. And the screen's missing, so he was throwing things out of his window.
What kind of work do you do, Miss Lindsay?
I'm a cook.
For whom?
For a company called Sodexo.
You work full-time?
Yes, ma'am.
And you, sir?
Systems analyst for the same company.
Well, you both have good jobs. You've been working for a while for this company?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Do you have any financial problems?
No.
Miss Allen, before you called Child Protective Services, did you discuss with Miss Lindsay and Mr. Lyles your concerns?
No, I did not.
You did not. Who is this lady?
It's my mother.
Would you step up, please? Tell me your last name. When, if ever, did your daughter start to discuss with you the concerns she had about these children?
It was last year. She was seeing different things, and in our area they have a lot of yard sales, and she asked me if I would go out if I could look for clothes in the children's size and shoes because they were too small, or the winter time. She said, I'm not sure if it was the 4-year-old didn't have clothes that would fit her for the winter, so I was trying to find jeans and turtlenecks and stuff. And she would bring them over to the house sometime, and I would fix some lunch and everything because she would say the cup of noodles, that was all they would be eating for lunch, and the sodium in that soup thing was kind of high for a child. So.
Did she discuss with you before she called Child Protective Services?
No, but she told me that, you know, something needed to be done about what was going on, and I told her, you know, do what she needed to do.
Okay. Do you have the report from Child Protective Services? I'd like to see it.
Yes, ma'am. I have 2, the original when they first came out on the 20th, and the second from the actual caseworker.
How many times did the caseworker visit you in the 2-week period between the date that the report was received and the day they closed the case?
Just twice. The first time, which is A, and then the second time, which is B, when they closed the case. Because on the first visit, she stated that there was nothing but discrepancies in the claims, that the allegations that was made.
Okay. Miss Lindsay or Mr. Lyles, do you have any motive for Miss Allen to have placed this call after the years that she spent with you taking care of your children?
Possibly, yes, ma'am.
Well, I'd like to hear what you think the possible motive is.
That Monday before the 20th, I believe it was the 16th, Miss Allen came in, normal day. I had spoken to her in regards to, we was paying her an extra stipend for gas because she would pick our son up from school. So we give her extra money on top of her pay each week. Well, gas prices in our area were rising. And she came to me and she stated, Miss Dasher, the news said by Memorial Day, gas prices are going to be sky high. Can I please get more gas money? And I said, well, how much do you want? Because I was previously paying her $20 extra a week for gas. She said $30, and I said, fine, no problem. Okay, that was taken care of. Right before I was getting ready to go to work that day, I reminded Miss Allen that we were soon to be putting our two oldest children, the 4- and 5-year-old, in private school, in which we was going to be paying for private school, and the only one that would be left would be our 2-year-old. And once we're paying for private school, we wouldn't be able to pay her the same amount that we pay her currently for her nanny services.
Well, how much were you paying her an hour?
$7 an hour during the week, and if she worked on the weekends, it would be $9 an hour, plus the
So you
stipend
wanted
for
to pay her
gas.
less than $7 an hour?
I didn't want
No,
to.
we were cutting the hours back. That was what we were telling her.
Oh, you were just cutting her hours back.
Yes,
Way
it was
back.
more like a pre-notice to possibly a 2-week notice when the children started private school.
Private school.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, and what did she say?
She didn't state much. She said, well, that's fine. By August, I planned on having moved out of my parents' home.
So she wasn't upset about it.
She didn't seem upset now.
I was not
No,
upset.
she wasn't upset about that, so that's not a reason. I don't see any reason that she would have, quite frankly, Miss Lindsay, of making this phone call unless she had some legitimate concerns over the 3 children. And the fact that the state didn't find any gross abnormality in your house doesn't mitigate the fact that she felt as if you and your husband may have been a little overwhelmed with full-time jobs and 3 little children, working very hard. You have financial things in the works, private
Yes, ma'am.
school and all that stuff. Whatever it was, I don't get from Miss Allen that she was being vindictive about anything. You have a reason she might call?
I mean, my sister told me that she was going through personal issues.
Well, first of all, that's hearsay. Second of all, going through personal issues would not necessarily mean she would take it out on you.
Well, it doesn't make sense that she would call. The things that were going on did not happen. I mean, she put our kids in danger
How did she put your kids in danger?
because Child Protective Services could have took them away.
Well, they could have if they found that they were substantially neglected or abused. They absolutely could have, but we don't discourage people in this country if they have legitimate concerns from making a report to Child Protective Services so that somebody can come out and take a look at a situation and make sure everything is right. Problem is, too many people don't do anything. And unless I find that there was some motivation other than legitimate concern for the children's safety, I'm dismissing your counterclaim and she's going to get the wages that were owed to her. Her mother seems to say, who is a lady that I assume you knew,
Yes, ma'am, we did.
that her daughter had confided in her previously that she was concerned about the children.
She never confided in us. Up until that day, Miss Allen and I had never had any problems
You
communicating.
may not have had any problems. Do you remember when she bought your 4-year-old shoes
She bought my 2-year-old shoes.
or your 2-year-old shoes? Do you remember when she did that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why she did that?
I had just bought my 2-year-old shoes. She
Yeah,
did
we
it
have
because...
the 2 pairs of shoes.
Yes.
It is unlikely that she would have spent her money, the hard-earned money that the $7 an hour, which is the
She
minimal
didn't have
amount.
any bills.
What?
She didn't have any bills.
I have bills.
She did that.
She didn't have any bills, so she should spend the money on your children?
No,
never
she liked
asked
doing
her
things
to.
for our children. She took them to McDonald's. She did things for them. That was.
So she
you know,
was a really good caregiver.
Yes, she
ma'am.
was.
We're not
Well,
She
denying
then
had
that.
no right to
something-
call Child Protective
Yes,
Services.
she did.
There was nothing wrong with the way we
That's
raised
the
our
way,
children.
that's your perception. But if she's the kind of caregiver that you say she is, to her eye, these children were not being adequately cared for while in your care. And before the state takes children away, there has to be some overriding reason because they got plenty of children in foster care. So if it's a question of children not getting more than noodle soup or not getting a bath every day, they're not going to remove children from a home. But that doesn't mean somebody who loves the children, as she clearly did according to you, should tolerate what she perceives as neglect. So your counterclaim is dismissed. You owe her $226 salary and $30 for gas. Hey, that's all.
Donnie Gatewood claims his daughter Crystal Gatewood and her boyfriend Christopher Mayer owe for loans. The defendants are countersuing, claiming Donnie put sugar in Christopher's gas tank.
Ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Gatewood, this young lady is your daughter, and the co-defendant is her boyfriend. They have a couple of children together. They are not married.
Correct, ma'am.
It is your claim that you made a loan to them, a
Yes,
loan
ma'am.
in the amount of, I believe, $4,000,
Yes, ma'am.
that they were supposed to pay you back. They
Correct.
didn't do that.
Correct.
Your daughter and the boyfriend say that this was not a loan, this was a gift, because they had fallen on some hard financial times, and that you became more and more obsessed with getting this money back, an obsession that rose to the level of harassment. They are counterclaiming, claiming that you not only harassed them, but that you vandalized Mr. Mayer's car.
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
How old are they?
They are 2 and 6 months.
Is Mr. Mayer the father of both of those
Yes.
children?
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
I was a forklift driver.
Well, how long ago were you a forklift driver?
A few weeks ago,
And how long were you a forklift driver?
for about 6 months.
And before that, what did you do?
Forklift driver at another job.
Why do you keep changing jobs?
Because Mr. Gatewood keeps calling on my jobs.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's somebody else's fault. It's not your fault that you lose these jobs.
Right.
How much did you make at your job?
I was making $8.50
$8.50,
hour.
that's not a lot of money.
No, ma'am.
Can't support yourself and 2 children on $8.50 an hour. So what do you do for a living?
I stay at home with the children.
Well, you can't afford to do that.
Well, right before this job, he had a job that paid $12.90 an hour.
$12.90 an hour, a virtual windfall. You think you can support a family on $12.90 an hour gross?
I think it's a pretty good amount.
And when did you lose that job?
November.
And you went right to work for somebody else?
Yes.
When did they call and ask you for money?
About the first part of February of this year, your ma'am.
Now, if you were working in February, what did you need money for? Look, don't go like that. I don't know. If he's working as a forklift operator at a job that he can support a wife and 2 children, girlfriend, excuse me, why did you call your father for money?
Pretty much he continued to lose every job right around 3 weeks. And each time the boss of the job would call and say, I'm sorry, we have to let you go, but there's a complaint that we got from a person calling in. And
A boss doesn't fire him if he's doing a good job because some stranger calls that he doesn't know and says he's not doing a good job. That doesn't make sense, Miss Gatewood. Okay, so you called your father and said that you needed money.
we actually called him and said, could we stay with you for a while until we got something saved up?
So, Miss Gatewood, so you called the person who you thought was responsible for your husband, I keep saying that, I must be old-fashioned, for your boyfriend losing his jobs, job after job after job. So what you did was call him and say, could we come and stay with you?
I asked for me and the kids to come and stay.
I'm trying to get where you're coming from. You call the person who you believe is responsible for all your bad luck and say, can we come and stay with you? And what did your father say?
He said we could stay for a few days, but he'd like to try to find us a place to stay for us to be stable.
Okay. And you said?
I said that'd be great.
And?
We went looking for mobile homes. We finally found one that we could buy for $1,000. So he told us that he would get us a loan to help build my credit.
Great. So you went to the bank?
Yes.
And what happened to the bank?
We got a $4,000 loan that my dad agreed he would pay. I didn't have a job at the time. Chris knew nothing about it.
Chris knew nothing about it. When you moved into this mobile home that you found, he wasn't going to move in with you?
Chris wasn't any part of the loan. He was going to live with me.
Just answer my question.
Yes, he was going to live there.
Well, if he was going to live there, where did he think that you got the money from?
I told him my dad was going to help us out. That's what we were told. It was going to be a gift.
Is that right, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Gatewood, do you want to tell me your version of what happened with your daughter and this money?
Yes, ma'am. At approximately first part of February of this year, my daughter called me crying, saying that she was being evicted from her apartment. Said they had no money for gas, no money for food. It was snowing. They wanted to know if they could come with me. I said, you and the girls can. That young man can't hold a job. He's not welcome. I got off the phone. About 20 minutes later, I called my daughter back. She was upset. I said, I tell you what, I'm going to help you. It's going to be a loan. You got a tax return coming. You can pay me back part of it this year and part of it next year. At that time, that loan will establish your credit. It will also gain you new residency, which it did. We got a trailer for her, 14 by 70, 1974 trailer. Got her washer and dryer. Got her couch. Got her refrigerator. And
when you say you got her, did she go with you shopping?
yes. Yes, we actually purchased a trailer.
The washer and dryer came with it.
The washer and dryer and the couch basically came with
The refrigerator
with the
he
trailer.
got from work. Okay. For free.
That's
now,
correct.
you took out, according to you, a $4,000 loan. The trailer was, according to your daughter, $1,000. What happened to the rest of the money?
That's correct. We gave the actual person that we bought the trailer from $2,800
No, we
For
did
what?
not.
for the trailer and all the belongings in the trailer, for the furnishings.
You have proof of that?
All I have is the loan, ma'am.
Well, I'd have to know what happened with the money.
Well, I gave her the cash to help.
Look at me.
I gave her cash so they could pay their car payment so they wouldn't lose their car.
Okay.
That's not
how much,
correct.
How much money did your father give you?
He gave us $1,000 for the mobile home, $500 paid for the washer, dryer, couch, and stove that came with it, and $500 towards lot rent and starting all our utilities up.
So he actually gave you $2,000?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not true, Your Honor. We gave the gentleman $2,800, and the other $1,200 I gave to my daughter. I did not give it to him. I gave it to her in cash.
Okay. Now, they're supposed to pay you back with their tax return, but something happened, Mr. Gatewood, according to your complaint, that irritated you. Your daughter said, according to you, she said she couldn't make the first payment.
Correct.
So you went to the bank and made the payment. That was $300 and some odd dollars.
$375, yes, ma'am.
Then what happened, sir?
From that time, she basically asked for me to pay her lot rent as well. And I promptly went straight up there within the hour and paid her lot rent,
How much was the lot rent?
$300.
What were you doing all this time?
I was working.
Why wasn't your rent being paid?
Actually, he went up there himself and paid it off, and
But
then
why
gave her
wasn't
a
your
phone
rent?
call.
Listen to me. He would not have known to pay the lot rent unless somebody told him that the lot rent hadn't been paid.
Well, our deal
I'm
was...
not asking you. Why hadn't you paid the lot rent?
Because I haven't had my first check yet.
So your lot rent was not paid. Your food was not paid. If you didn't have any money, so you were using the money, is that right, Mr. Maher, that he gave you?
I never had money.
Well, you were eating, weren't you? You weren't on life support.
She has food stamps that she gets food from and everything.
Why would she have food stamps?
Because
She's
you
on
keep
Medicaid.
struggling. We're never getting
Well,
ahead.
if you keep struggling, what'd you have another baby for? You think that that was going to make it easier? Okay. Did you get your tax return back?
Yes.
How much did you get?
I think altogether about $4,500.
And it didn't dawn on you to pay your father back for this loan?
No, we were never told to pay him back.
Well, you're here now. And he must have said something before you arrived here today.
We were told it was a complete gift.
You were told that by your father?
Yes.
So between February and March, when he came to the house and told you that he wanted some money, because that's what you say in your answer, you think he had a psychotic breakdown?
My
How
dad
many you
goes-
think he had a psychotic breakdown?
I think he goes through different moments where one day he wants to be our friend and the next day he doesn't.
That's not be your friend, and one day he doesn't want to be his friend until he grows up and accepts responsibility for making 2 children and holding down a job regularly. What I'm asking you is if your father comes and says, look, I took out a loan. I need you to pay me back part of it now and part of it next year, and you just got $4,500, why you wouldn't do that? Why you wouldn't do that? It's your money. You're the one who works. She doesn't work. She gets food stamps.
Every time they went to do something with whatever they were doing with the money or whatever, he came over and got her, and they left and did whatever they did. I stayed at home with the kids those times. Never knew anything, never signed
Well,
anything.
Mr. Mayor, I don't believe that you never knew anything. I believe that he came and got
Well,
her.
I
and
knew
you
where
wanted
they
to
were
know-
going, yeah.
You knew what they were going. You knew what they were going for, right?
Yes.
It's just that Mr. Gatewood didn't want to deal with you. He doesn't approve of the fact that you made 2 children. You have his daughter living from hand to mouth. She's not helping herself, but certainly you're not stepping up to the plate and assuming the responsibility of a head of household. So he doesn't want to have anything to do with you until you grow up. I could understand that. So he takes his daughter. That doesn't mean you're a defendant, because I don't think that you made your arrangement with him. I think you made your arrangement with her.
I made it with both of them, ma'am, and he knows that.
No. Even you tell me that you didn't make the arrangement with him. You went to the bank with her.
Not initially on the phone, ma'am, but when I went over to their trailer or to their apartment before I went to the bank, I told them that that's what was going to happen. I was going to go
Just
to the bank.
because you told them that that was going to happen, sir, does not a contract make.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
That's a parent saying, this is what you're going to do.
Sure.
And unless you have somebody said, fine, offer, acceptance, then you don't have a contract.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think your agreement was with your daughter. And I don't believe her when she says it was an absolute gift. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come over to the house to try to get payment.
He came over to the house because we quit talking to him. We just wanted nothing to do with him. He started...
Well, why would you have nothing to do with him before he took out a loan for you as, according to you, a gift for $4,000?
Because
According to you. Why would you want to all of a sudden have nothing to do with him?
Because they all of a sudden wanted nothing to do with us. They didn't have us come over. My mom never came to see my daughters, nothing.
You're talking about 2 weeks? You're talking about from February to March.
Yeah, my mom would come over at least like twice a week and see them, and she just quit coming over, quit caring.
Oh, you're just a victim. You're a terrible victim. What do you think? You think both your mother and your father had psychiatric problems during those 2 weeks?
No.
Well, what do you think happened?
I don't know. I think they got money greedy and...
Money? They got money greedy?
Yes. I think we deserve that money because as many jobs as my dad has cost Chris.
Miss Gatewood, if you believe the fact that your father caused Chris to lose his job, you better have a head adjustment. He may have convinced you of that, but the truth of the matter is, that's a lot of baloney. A lot of baloney. Do you think I'm a smart lady?
Yes.
They don't keep me around here because I'm 5'6" and gorgeous. They keep me around here because I'm very, very smart. And I have a history with people. Things make sense or they don't make sense. Parents who are faced with the fact that their daughter has had 2 illegitimate children with a man who can't hold down a job, but who seems to be in love with him and seems to at least want to try to make a life with him, don't sabotage that by getting him fired from his job so that their daughter will be out in the cold with her 2 children.
I believe it's a control thing. Like, he always wants to know where I am, everything. He's always tried to bring me back to his house.
No, he's not. You called him and asked if you could come home, and he said you can come home for a while, but I'd much rather see you in your own place. He doesn't want you to come home with the 2 children. He doesn't want to be a parent to your 2 little children.
And he doesn't want to be a grandparent either.
Oh, Miss Gateway, you are truly a victim. Maybe you found the perfect foil. What you are is a big baby who has babies, but who made an agreement with your father, and then he said, I'm not giving him my $4,500. There's no way. I didn't make an agreement with him to give him $4,500, and you don't have $4,500 because you don't work. And that's what started the problem with your father. Because if you believe that your father was the cause of all of your troubles, you have to be crazy to call him up and to say, can I come home with the girls? So you really didn't believe that because you could have called his parents and said, we're being evicted. You didn't call them. You called the terrible people who were sabotaging your life. Grow up, because your tears don't make it with me. I guarantee you, they shed more tears than you did. No. Bad people. They're really bad people.
If you got
The fact that you picked somebody who can't hold a job and who can't accept the responsibility for children that he made, that's their fault too.
He's there for his kid and he tries.
Well, he shouldn't be there for his kids. He should be working. You're there for his kids. And you should be working too. And in addition to food stamps, as long as you're not married, which is one of the reasons you get food stamps, along with the food stamps, there are federal programs that give you free daycare. Put your kids in daycare and get a job.
I had a bad influence with the daycare one time. One of my daughters got hurt.
Also, somebody else's fault. So get another daycare. And you don't solve your problem by making another baby.
I know.
Maximum limit that you're suing for is $3,000 on your complaint. On your complaint, I'm awarding you the $3,000 because that's the maximum in your jurisdiction. I have a counterclaim. Counterclaim says, Mr. Gateway, that you put sugar in Mr. Marr's gas tank.
That is not true.
Go ahead. Prove it.
We got a call from him about 5 minutes before.
Who's we?
Chris received the call. I was over there and also Chris's best friend. And he said...
Wait just a second. You were over where?
I was at the house.
But you didn't get the call?
No. I wasn't
Fine,
answering any phone calls.
Fine. Then you tell me what the call was.
I'll answer it. It's Mr. Gatewood, and he says, well, since you guys aren't going to cooperate with me now and blah, blah, blah.
No, I don't want to hear blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah I can get when I speak to my 3-year-old grandchild. I want to hear what he said to you, Mr.
He said,
Marr.
since you guys don't want to cooperate with me now.
Don't want to cooperate. Those are the words he used? Since you guys don't want to cooperate with me, go ahead.
There's sugar in your gas tank, and I hope it blows up.
So what did you do?
We went out and checked the gas tank.
Immediately hung up the phone, went outside. Me and my friend went outside. I opened the gas tank, see some white substance at the bottom. Checked my friend's truck. There's more on his than mine. I guess he thought I'd bought a new truck. We called the cops. They came over, took a report.
And the cop states in the report that there is...
Don't tell me what the police said. I'll see the police report.
I think it's on like the 3rd page.
Who blacked this out?
The police station does it.
Fill in the blanks. Mayor, that's you. This is what you told the police. Stated that the problem stemmed from a loan that blacked out, co-signed for blank. That's what you told the police. According to Mayor, you have been harassing them for the last couple of days, including calling their home constantly. Prior to calling the police, he was speaking to you on the phone. Conversation quickly became heated and turned into an argument. While they were speaking, you told Mayor he put sugar in the gas tank of his car. Mayor and your friend then checked the gas tank of both their vehicles and saw crystal-like substance, so Mayor called the police. So here, Miss Gatewood, your boyfriend acknowledges that this was a loan. Was there anything wrong with your car?
Yes.
Uncross your hands. You have either the estimate or the cost of fixing it?
No, I don't.
Well, where is it?
I let my friend fix the filter of my car.
So you had no damages?
No, you had to change the whole
I had
complete
to change the
fuel
filter of my gas tank.
Well, where's the bill?
I paid him $100 to go get the filter and fix my car.
So what you're telling me is you have no proof that there was any damage done to your car.
Right.
You owe your father $3,000. Who knows whether he's going to be forever? When people get married in this country today, there is a 52% chance that the marriage will terminate. When people start off like the two of you starting off, the expectation is that statistically you will not know what he looks like in 5 years. Very great. You only have in your life two parents. Those two people. I would suggest that you think about that. I would also suggest that you think about the fact that certain things make sense and certain things don't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. And the fact that he has convinced you that the cause of his problems at work is your father is just ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000.
Matthew Terry claims ex-wife Kelly Terry owes for injuries he received during an argument in her home. Kelly is countersuing for harassment and for making false charges to Child Protective Services.
Mr. Terry, the defendant is your former wife.
Yes.
You have 5 children.
Yes.
When were you divorced?
Finally in July of 2005.
And I assume you were divorced because you decided that you couldn't make a, right?
Yes.
Fair statement?
Yes.
So after your divorce, you did the most ludicrous thing that I ever heard of. You moved into her house, rented a room, according to you, so that you could be close to your children. Is that right?
It's to help out with the children. There's 5 of them, and they're pretty overbearing sometimes.
Well, that's a great idea, but if you're going to live with her, you might as well be married to her. Living there under these circumstances is really ridiculous. In any event, to show you just how ridiculous, you claim that your former wife assaulted you.
Yes.
At a time when you were, in fact, living in the house, and you want her to pay for your medical bills, want her to compensate you for your injuries. Your former wife says you started the argument. She just finished it. And since that time, you've embarked on a campaign of harassment, and she is counterclaiming. Tell me when this incident happened, Mr. Terry.
Happened February 26th of this year.
And according to what I read in your complaint, you were in the house watching TV with some of the kids.
Yes.
What were you watching?
I believe we were watching NHRA on ESPN.
You were watching?
NHRA, it's automobile racing.
And how many of the children were you watching auto racing with?
I believe all 5 of them were watching, and 2 of the oldest ones had left the room at this instant.
How old are the children?
They range from 7 to 16.
So the 16-year-old left.
Yes.
One below that is how old?
14.
That one left. So 3 little ones.
Out of the room, yes.
Little ones are there. Tell me what happened.
We were sitting there watching TV. She came out of her room, which is adjoining the living room, and started swearing and was upset about something, and went to the fireplace, sat down, and was smoking a cigarette. At the whole time, she was sort of cussing me out and saying how negative things were with me.
Why were you angry with him?
I had asked him to help do things around the house and to help with the kids instead of sitting there watching TV.
That's what you do to a husband, not to a tenant.
Well, he gets a big
tenant.
discount in rent because of his help.
But he was a tenant.
Correct.
If you wanted to boss him around, you should have stayed married to him. Okay, so you were angry because you would ask him to do some chores, help with the kids, and he was sitting around watching TV.
Yes.
Acting like a husband.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Rather than as an almost employee, because if you say that he gets a big discount in his rent, then you're giving up a certain amount of rent in order to get work out of him.
Correct.
So you weren't getting work out of him.
Right.
Recipe for disaster. So you were angry and annoyed and letting him know it.
Yes.
What happened next, Mr. Terry?
She kept raving on and
Were you
badgering me with her voices.
Mr. Terry, were you ignoring her?
I responded to some of the things.
How did you respond?
Just with my mouth.
In front of your children?
Yes, nothing negative came out of my mouth.
If there was nothing negative that came out of your mouth and she's cursing at you, why don't you tell me what you said to her?
I don't remember. I was concentrating on the program.
Well, try to remember, Mr. Terry. I'm curious what
I
you were
just said,
talking about in front of your
I don't
three...
see what the problem is this evening. I'm with the 3 children. They're with me, or all 5 were with me, so it's not like I'm not watching them like she wanted to. And she just kept bickering.
So go ahead, let me hear.
And she finished her cigarette, got up, charged me, swung at my face, hit me in the shoulder. I have a previous injury, and it's like a tender spot in my shoulder.
You were still sitting on the couch?
Yeah, I was sitting on the front part of the couch, like leaning forward with my hands crossed, just watching the show. And I didn't think she was going to charge me like that. And she came up around the table, took a swung at my face. I went back. She hit me in the shoulder. I fell back, and my feet went up, and I broke the table in front of me.
Go ahead.
And then I sat back up from falling back into the couch, and I looked at the glass on the floor, and she went off saying that I was breaking things and that I did that on purpose. And I said, no, I fell back when you hit my shoulder. And she was really steamed then. And I picked up a big piece of glass, probably 4 foot by 4 foot, over her head, threw it down, my finger, and it hit me in the arch of my foot, cutting it. And then I got up, and she was throwing things at me continuously, and I told her I was going to call the sheriffs, and she said, no, I will do that. I got up to go to the phone, and she was already there, so I just left and went out and sat on the stairs.
Were you treated that night?
No.
The next day?
Yes. I woke up it was painful in my foot, but I thought it might subside over the night, so I went down to my room. After the sheriffs came, they took a statement from both of us, gave her a ticket for battery, and she told the sheriffs that she didn't mean to throw it at my foot. She was trying to aim for the ground. And I was outside the whole time, and the sheriffs...
could you do me a favor and answer my question? Were you treated the next day?
I was treated the next day, yes.
Where?
At San Bernardino Medical Center.
Can I see the papers, please?
Do you want to see the police report?
Yes.
There's the police report, the hospital report, off-work notice.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Terry, I'd like you to tell me your version of the events of the 26th of February.
Okay. He was sitting on the couch, and I think just the one youngest child was there. I think the oldest 2, who are actually 15 and 17, were gone because they're usually never at home. And he was sitting on the couch watching TV, and I went and stood in front of the TV and asked him if he would help me do some things around the house. This was in February, 8 months ago, so I don't remember what I needed him to do. However, when I stood in front of the TV, he told me to move my fat because he couldn't see the TV. And the TV is big. It's like a 52-inch TV. And so when he said that, I was furious. So I walked up to him, and as he's sitting in the corner of the couch, and I did put my hand on his shoulder and said to him, get out. We're done. We're not doing this anymore. Get out. And if you don't leave right now, I'm going to call the police. And that's when he kicked the table. And then when he did that, I was furious because my dad gave me that coffee table. It's very expensive. And I did not punch him. I did not hurt him in any way. I picked up the glass because it didn't really like shatter. It shattered but still stayed together. And I picked it up and I showed it to him and I said, look what you did to my table. And I threw it down on the wood right where it was. And again, it broke in like big pieces, you know, but not like shattering, like where there was like sharp edges because it's tempered or something like that. And he immediately got up and I walked over to the phone to call the police.
In February of 2006, was he paying rent to you?
Yes, he was.
And he had paid February's rent?
I believe so.
You can't throw him out.
Right.
And you said, who are you to throw him out?
But he was damaging my property.
No. Listen to me, Miss Terry. You can't do what you did, madam. What you did was 100% wrong. What you did was confuse your circumstance. I mean, you 2 people elected to have this bizarre arrangement where he rented an apartment room, I don't know what it was, and there was an understanding that he would help out with the children, help out with this, help out with that, but he's not your slave. You can't stand in front of the television set and expect no reaction. That's what wives do, stand in front of the act and say, listen, I asked you to do this and I asked you to do that and you didn't do it. So he responded to you. You didn't like it. Sticks and stones will break my bones. Names will never hurt me. You can't put your hands on him. Period. How many days were you out of work, Mr. Terry?
The following day was a Monday. I went to the doctor's. I left work at half day, noon. I was there by 2.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a soils engineer, foundation engineer, inspector.
So how many days' work did you miss?
4 days plus a Saturday. I was taken off work for 3 days, and my employer told me if, since I was off,
Don't tell me what
Tuesday,
your
Wednesday, and Thursday,
listen, you're
that
trying
they
to
had no
talk
work.
over me, Mr. Terry. That won't do.
I was taken off work from the doctor Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
That's all. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 3 days.
Yes.
And how much do you earn a day?
$300 a day.
Are you not living in the house now?
No.
How much child support do you pay for your 5 children?
$2,000 a month.
You up to date?
Yes.
Great. When did you move out, sir?
July.
You lived there from February till July?
The following week, I found a new place to live, and it wasn't ready until then.
That is not true.
Just a second. So what you're telling me, Mr. Terry, is you lived there March, April, May, and June, 4 months?
I had the recreational vehicle, and I was gone a lot of the time.
Did you pay rent for those 4 months?
Yes.
Okay. I'm confused, Mr. Terry. If this happened February of 2006 and you decided not to pursue the protective order, even though she was given a ticket, why didn't you move out of the house immediately?
Like I said.
Why did you permit him to stay in the house for 4 months instead of evicting him?
You know, it's...
No. Are those legitimate questions?
Yes, they are.
You could have evicted him. So month-to-month tenant, did he have a lease? No. So he's a month-to-month tenant. So now my question to you, Mr. Terry, is why did you file this case in September or October of 2006, some 8 months later?
Mainly my whole reason for living is to take care of the children, and I work 60 to 70 hours a week. And
why didn't
now
you file
I have
this
time.
case?
Now
Well, that's
I have
too
time.
bad. That's too bad, Mr. Terry. Quite frankly, I was very sympathetic with your position. I don't think that your former wife had the right to put her hands on you to cause this injury. And if you had decided to move out in March, 4 days later, you paid up for February, said, I'm not going to live under these circumstances anymore because it's too violent, I would have heard your case, and I would have said, you're absolutely right, sir. She has to compensate you were out of work. But this is an afterthought. And I don't know why the afterthought right now, Mr. Terry. You want to explain that to me? There has to be a reason for this afterthought.
I didn't want to create any more negativity in the home.
Well, you did by staying there for 4 months, sir.
I think it was more of a positive thing for the children and to take care of the children. That's my main thing.
Just a second. For the last 4 months, is that right?
Yes.
So why would you sue your former wife now?
I'm out of the house, and it would not create any negativity right now.
Oh, really? You think not?
Yes.
You think that the fact that you have children who are certainly of an age of understanding know that their father is suing their mother in court for thousands of dollars wouldn't create negativity?
She sued me in court for divorce.
That's different, sir.
It was more of a financial thing with her.
That's different, sir.
And I did not tell the children there was any litigation going on.
You may not. Don't you think that your litigation against their mother at this point creates stress? I mean, you're suing her for $5,000.
Yes.
And if you're suing her for $5,000, I'm sure that in your financial circumstance, the fact that you rented a room to you indicates that you're not exactly flush with dough. So $5,000 is a lot of money to her. I still don't understand the rationale for 8 months after the event.
I can explain that to you.
Well, I'd like to hear it.
The reason that he filed now is because that's part of my counterclaim for harassment. Because the reason he moved out is because I have a boyfriend. And in the year and a half, we have been divorced. I have never seen anybody else. We have, but not like inside the home or anything, or brought them around the children. And Matt just went berserk when I had somebody come over to the house and meet the kids and stay there. Not stay there, but just interact with the kids, because it's never happened before. And on August 2nd of this year, I have a police report where he came home and my new friend John was there, and Matt just flipped out, just started going crazy.
Let's see it.
He threatened to throw John off the deck. He threatened all of these things. And so I immediately called the police, and the police stood there while Matt moved out.
Mr. Terry, you have a problem with your wife having a new male friend?
No, not at all.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Matthew Terry says ex-wife Kelly Terry purposely cut him with broken glass during an argument in their home.
So you want to tell me your version of what happened on the 2nd?
Yeah, I came home from work, and she called me maybe 20 times on my cell phone while I was at work in meetings, such things. And when I got home, I told her, you can't call me like 20 times a day. I was in meetings and she said, you better respond to me. And so I went downstairs, and she chased me all over the house. just badgering me the whole time. I went to make a phone call to the sheriff's, and she kept pulling the wire out of the house.
Was her boyfriend there?
No.
So the boyfriend wasn't there?
No.
This had nothing to do with the boyfriend?
No, he wasn't there.
So he wasn't there when the altercation took place? Well, it's interesting because she called the police, and the call that she made to the police says, called the RP and told her that if he ever sees her with her new boyfriend, that he's going to kill him, and also told her that he's going to steal her boat. RP would like an emergency restraining order against the subject. Why?
I don't know anything about that.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
There was no restraining order.
He lived in the house up until that day. And the police were there as he was packing his stuff and leaving, and he did make a comment to John. We were outside, you know, I just wanted him to just go. And he walked by the sliding glass door and said, in front of the police, I hope you're clean because I'm calling Child Protective Services to John. I hope your record's clean. And after that, and that's where the counterclaim comes in. This is the second time in my life I've ever been to court. The only other time was divorce court. And the judge commended us on having the most friendly divorce that he had ever seen. And we've been friends, great friends. We're just not good married.
You weren't good living in the same place either.
We were for a long time we were, until I decided to move on with my life. And that's the problem that he had, is that I guess because I married him, I'm never entitled to be happy. I don't love him like that, you know. He lives in an RV. He parks it in front of my driveway, in the street, in a cul-de-sac. He'll leave it there for 3 days. He'll start fights with the neighbors, and all of this has been since August of this year.
Why, Mr. Terry?
The last time I brought the RV up, she told me to bring it and bring the kids to the dental appointments, and also Kenny, my 8-year-old, has a heart condition. He has to go to echocardiogram. So I brought the vehicle up. She knew that's the only vehicle I drive. I parked it in her driveway.
Yeah.
Plugged into her electricity.
Right. But she said you left it there 3 days.
I was there for 3 days with it.
Did she ask you to move it?
On the third day, after I asked her what was happening with Kenny, Kenny told me that a friend of hers had choked him and thrown him down. And once I brought that up to her attention, it put her off, and she called the sheriff's.
That's not true. I have 2 teenage kids that go to high school, and so my house usually has about 9 or 10 high school kids in it.
Listen, you don't have to hear it.
Yeah.
She wants you to leave her alone. Where do you usually keep your RV?
I live in resorts.
Keep it there. Just keep it out of her driveway.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Terry, I'm not entertaining your counterclaim for harassment right now or ever. I think that things have happened, and he's just got to get over the fact that you're moving on. Moving up, moving on, moving out. You're absolutely entitled to do that. Hopefully, and I want you to pray every night that he meets a nice young lady, because that's the way that he's going to move on. He's going to move on. He's going to take you off his plate and put somebody else on his plate. Go looking for somebody. Go to Match.com. Go someplace. Go someplace, Mr. Terry. You'll find somebody who absolutely adores you.
I'm not after her at all.
Good.
My whole thing since the divorce was to take care of the children. That's my main thing.
Listen to me.
I raised them.
Listen to me. My sense is that you both are trying to be reasonable parents.
Yes.
You're just frustrating your children in the process. And if you have occasional spats, that's unfortunate, but it's not unexpected. You're going to have occasional spats. If you didn't fight, then you would still be living together. But, Mr. Terry, there is no way that I'm awarding you $5,000 and taking that out of the mouths of your children. That's just not going to happen. You are, however, entitled to reimbursement for the 3 days that you were out of work as a result of your former wife's actions. That's $900. Did you have any unreimbursed medical bills?
Yes.
What were the unreimbursed medical bills? Unreimbursed.
I have to pay back the insurance company, Pfizer
What insurance company?
Pfizer Health, Benesite, for anything that I recover that they paid for out in medical bills.
Listen to me. If what you're telling me is that your insurance covered the medical bills, that's what you're supposed to tell me.
Yes, they covered $300. I have a $200 deductible, and I have to reimburse them for any...
I understood what you just said to me, sir. And I think that you're a very smart man, a little passive-aggressive, but a smart man. So is what you're telling me that you had to pay $200 because that's your deductible. Let me see the check for $200.
I don't have a check.
Well, did you pay it?
I paid $110 of it.
Show
I owe
me.
$94. I don't have it.
Well, that's too bad. So your wife owes you $900. That's your wages for the 3 days you were out of work. Mr. Terry, put your hand down. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. That's all.
Jennifer Richardson says her estranged mother-in-law, Sandra Richardson, refuses to hand over title on a car she bought from her. Sandra is countersuing, claiming Jennifer stole appliances from her home.
Miss Richardson, this is your soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law, and I assume that sitting in a witness chair is your soon-to-be ex-husband.
Yes.
Okay. According to you, you purchased a home for your son and his wife, and the idea was that you and your husband were going to live with them. Unfortunately, your husband became ill and passed away.
The house was originally bought for us.
Yes, the house was originally
with
bought...
our money.
No, well, sorry, Your Honor.
No, it was your money.
Well, can I just say something? If she wants to lie about
just a second.
10,000.
Just a second. Who paid the mortgage on the house?
I did. It was in my name.
I didn't ask you if it was in your name. I said who paid the mortgage.
For the first 8 months, my husband and I did. When they moved in, they shared the responsibility.
That's what I gathered. The first several months, you and your husband were making the mortgage payments on the house, and then you and your husband moved in, and then you split the mortgage payments, right?
Yes.
But the house was purchased for them, and they were there alone for a period of time. Anyway, the house is really not the issue unless we get to the counter. Don't interrupt me. House isn't really the issue until we get to the counterclaim. We're going to talk about the house in a moment. This has to do with the car that you purchased in your name, but that your daughter-in-law used, but your daughter-in-law used it to take you around from place to place, all your appointments. She sort of chauffeured you around. Anyway, there came a time when you left the house, and shortly after you leaving the house, your daughter-in-law and son split up.
Right.
Your daughter-in-law went home to her family. Where do you live now?
That's not what happened.
Where do you live now?
I live with my mother.
In what state?
In Florida.
And where do you live?
Michigan.
Okay. Did you take the car with you?
At what time?
Where is the car now?
My husband has it.
Okay. It is your claim that you wanted the car, and your mother-in-law said you have to pay for it. You were annoyed that she said that you had to pay for it because you always thought it was your car, but you sent her $3,000. She doesn't deny that you sent her the $3,000. But she never sent you the title to the car and never sent you the car. So you want something. You want either the car or you want your $3,000. Mother-in-law says the $3,000 was for other bills that were outstanding. And in addition, she's counterclaiming because she says when you moved out of the house, you took her property, some appliances and things that belonged to her. So I'm going to cut right to the chase. Mrs. Richardson, since you acknowledge that your daughter-in-law sent you $3,000. What did she send you the money for?
I asked for $5,000 for the car. She sent me $3,000. They owed me like $6,000 just back rent, so I don't figure the car is paid for.
Wrong. If you asked $5,000 for the car and she sent you $3,000, you can't offset that. Get the money that they owe you from rent from your son. Get it from him, not from her.
May I speak?
When it's your turn.
Okay.
She stole $20,000 worth of appliances and stuff.
Listen to
from my
me.
home.
When you purchased this house, for the first 8 months, where she and your son lived there, were the appliances in the house?
There was old appliances. I purchased all brand new appliances.
And when you went home, after your husband died, when you left, in what month was that?
Around May, about the middle of May.
Of 06? Mm-hmm. And when did the two of you split up?
August.
And between May of 06 and August of 06, where were the appliances?
They were in the home when I left.
And where did you go? From Florida back to Michigan?
Michigan. Mm-hmm.
And what did you take with you when you went?
I took a clock, my big TV, left leather furniture, all the appliances, everything in the home when I left because it cost me so much to move all the stuff. So I left it for the kids.
Absolutely right. So it was a gift. So let me explain something to you, Miss Richardson. Don't get involved between your son and your daughter-in-law. The courts will determine if she took marital property, because once you made a gift to them, you didn't make a gift to your son. Listen to me.
Okay.
You made a gift to them. You left it when you moved back to Michigan in May. You left it as a gift for the kids. And if they had stayed together as husband and wife, they would have had all the appliances. The problem is they split up. And then you said, well, I don't want her. She's a stranger to me now. She can't take this property. I bought it. It was a gift. Once you give a gift, you can't have sticky fingers. You can't say, well, it's a gift, but I'm going to hold on to it.
But I bought it as myself because I lived there.
I don't care. When you left it there. And you didn't abandon it. along with the leather sofa. You took what you wanted. You took a grandfather clock, you took other things that were important to you, and you left the other things there for your children. Then, so it therefore became marital property.
She had no reason to steal it, though.
She didn't steal it. It was a gift.
It wasn't really a gift.
Well,
it
Miss
was 'cause I
Richardson,
lived
I'm
there.
trying to explain to you, madam, you're not getting what the law is.
Okay.
That's the law. And if your son, during the course of the divorce proceeding, says, well, she took this marital property and she had no right to take the marital property, a judge will decide that. But it's not yours. You can't sue for it. You gave it away. You gave it away to them. And as between the two of them, a court will determine whose property it was, whether she cleaned out the house or whether she didn't. But it's not yours anymore. You gave it away. Let's get to the car. When did you tell your daughter-in-law that you wanted $5,000 for the car?
Before I left the home.
So that was in May of 06. Is that what she told you in May of 06? She wanted $5,000?
My husband and I discussed it, and I told him I don't feel I owe her anything for this car. I have been a personal slave to her, driven her anywhere she's asked me to go.
Well, that, listen
She's
to me.
broken in
Let's
and
shh,
I'm
don't
sorry.
speak. Just because you think that doesn't make it the law. Car is titled in her name. You took her where she had to go. You also used it for yourself when you had to go to, I don't know, bowling, Pilates, hairdresser appointment, whatever. Right. You took the car yourself. So in exchange for that, you had a car. And what you did was you drove your mother-in-law around. When you weren't driving her around, you were using it yourself. So whether you thought that you were entitled to it or not, that's totally irrelevant. She said she wanted $5,000 for the car. You go back to Florida. When did you have a discussion with her and send her $3,000?
My husband and I discussed it, and I said all I can get is $3,000.
Where did you get the $3,000 from? Look at me. Don't look down there.
My mother obtained a loan.
When?
It would be late May, and I made the deposit in June 20th.
Before you and your husband separated?
Yeah.
And you gave her a check in late May for the $3,000?
Well, she was gone, so we deposited the check into her bank account, and we gave her the mortgage money as well. You'll see it's $4,000.
No. That has nothing to do with it. She already told me. She wanted $5,000. You sent her $3,000. She considered it for other bills. She can't do that. Where's the title to the car?
The original title was destroyed.
And here's what I paid for the car.
Can be destroyed?
Here, ma'am.
Lost in the mail.
What?
Lost. She took my mail for 6 months. I spent $80,000 on that house.
Who's living in it?
It's empty. I can't even sell
Just
it.
a second. Who's living in it?
Nobody's living in it.
Why isn't he living in it?
He lives here in Michigan with me now.
Oh, well.
But I just lost.
Because if I'm down there, she makes my life miserable.
Shh, listen to me.
$80,000.
I'm not speaking
so.
to you.
Okay.
I'm not speaking to you.
Sorry.
If your mother's out some money, get a job and make sure she's whole. Miss Richardson, you cannot take her money. That money was for the car. That's what it was for. That was before they separated, so that you went back to Michigan, right, without the car.
Right.
And she got the money from her mother. This is her car. It is not your car. Don't get in between your son and his wife if they're in the process of divorcing.
So this $80,000 that I spent, I know she got money, she kept my mail, she run my cell phone up to $1,000.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You could sue her for certain things, but you can't keep this money. And if you spent $80,000, you spent $80,000 on your son, not on your daughter-in-law. You spent $80,000 on your son because, but for your son, listen, if she came to you and you didn't know her from a hole in the wall and she wasn't married to your son, you wouldn't have spent a quarter on her. You spent the money because you wanted your son to be comfortable. And if he was married to this lady, well, she's the beneficiary of that. So the house isn't in her name. The house is in your name.
I'm losing that, too. So.
Well, sell it. Meanwhile, you have to sign the title to the car over to her because the car belongs to her. You accepted the money for it?
But it's not paid for.
What do you mean it's not paid for?
$3,000 isn't $5,000.
Listen to me. You said you wanted $5,000 to them before you left. There was conversations that took place between the three of you. There's no question in my mind about that. There is also no question in my mind that you accepted the $3,000 in payment for the car because you took it and you spent it. It wasn't until 3 months later, when they separated, that you said, well, that money was for other things. No, no, no.
So she
doesn't go that way. This is her car. And don't put yourself in the middle of these two people. You spent money. It's unfortunate. The marriage didn't work out. The marriage didn't work out, and it's over. And there were certain things that she took appliances from the house. I'm sure that there were certain things that your son took. What did you take from the house, sir? Stand up next to your mother and just answer my questions. Now that you moved back to Michigan, what did you take with you or sell?
Nothing. Because she emptied the house.
Don't listen to me. She didn't empty the house.
Yeah.
She took the appliances, according to your mother.
Emptied it. My clothes, every personal belonging I had premarital. She emptied the house. I came back to an empty house. My mom blew $80,000.
Just a second. Just a second. Did you take everything from the house?
Yes.
Everything.
Just a second. Shh. Don't speak. Did you take everything from the house?
Not every single thing, no.
Yes, she did.
Don't speak. What did you take from the house?
I took whatever I would need to have the kids having the same normal life they had before.
How many children do you have?
2.
How old are they?
One to be 12 and one to be 5.
Like my dad.
Don't speak. Don't speak. Where were you living? In Michigan?
When I moved out,
Where did you go?
I didn't have a home.
So where did you go?
I went to a friend's home.
Boyfriend.
And it's going to be over. Do you understand? It's going to be over. What state do you live in now?
Florida.
Which is where you lived as a marital couple?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Why did you move back to Michigan when you have 2 children in Florida?
Because she was trying to get me put in jail. She
For
stole
what?
everything. She come into my motel room and took my pool stick, and I'm a professional pool player.
Listen to me.
After she emptied the house, took my dad's wedding band he wore for 43 years that's worth $20. It's 10 karat gold that belongs to my mother. All 9 of my pool sticks, all my clothes, 3 different cell phones that she came to my hotel room to get in my hotel room to take the stuff, and I filed a
asked you a question, sir. The question is a simple one.
It's just all the truth.
The question is
That's why I moved.
the question is a simple one.
All right.
How do you move clear across country when you have 2 children?
Because here's a lady that's trying to put me in jail and comes to where I am when I try to ignore her to steal things I have. Excuse me.
Let us sign over the car, please. I would run away from him, too.
Really?
Sign it. The car belongs to her. It's your problem how to get it, but the car belongs to her.
She should owe me $1,000 for cell phones that she stole.
Then sue her for the cell phones.
Well, where am I going to do that at? I mean, she steals and took money, took my checks for 6 months and taken my money out of the bank and everything.
Give the title to the car. That's what she wants. Counterclaim is dismissed. Very unfortunate situation. You got yourself in the middle of something. You have 2 grandchildren. You should never do that, madam. When you have 2 grandchildren, listen to me. You have 2 grandchildren.
I don't see them either.
Excuse me?
I won't see them either. She's the one.
She wouldn't let her see her grandchildren when we lived together.
I'm telling you something. You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. You have a son who I've only met for a short period of time. He's not wrapped too tight. But you're the grandmother. You're the grandmother. And if you have 2 grandchildren, I don't know if he's your only child or not, or if you have other children. If he's your only child, I sort of get it. So that these are your only 2 grandchildren. I would not have gotten into a situation with her where you end up in court. Just pay attention. Don't look at him with rose-colored glasses. You have to know who your children are. You have to be fair. You have to be dispassionate. She may not be perfect, but you have to know who your children are. You got it?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Danielle Hines says her former live-in boyfriend, Devin Kilpatrick, owes for rent and the return of property. Devin says he moved out after Danielle filed for a restraining order.
Ms. Hines, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You lived together. He's also the father of your child.
Yes.
You had a lease together. He moved out 4 months prior to the lease terminating.
Yes.
You took him to court for 2 months of the 4 months.
Yes.
Because the other 2 months hadn't passed yet. And you got a judgment against him for those 2 months.
Yes.
Now you want the last 2 months of the rent that he owes you. And you also claim that you had a lot of pain and suffering because he wasn't a nice guy.
Yes.
Well, forget pain and suffering. You don't get paid for pain and suffering. You terminate a relationship for pain and suffering. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. So you want your rent.
Yes.
Mr. Kilpatrick has a very good excuse for not paying the rent for the last 2 months.
Yes,
Yes, I do, ma'am.
He says that the reason he didn't pay rent for the last 2 months is because you filed a restraining order against him and his mother, and so he couldn't live in the apartment, and if he couldn't live in the apartment, then he wasn't going to pay rent.
Not
That's
true.
his defense.
Yes.
So, when did you move into the apartment?
We moved in March 14, 2006.
And you were both on the lease?
Yes, we were.
And when did you leave, sir?
I'm not exactly sure.
When did he
I
leave?
am November 9th, and they filed for the restraining order. He was
November 9th,
Yes.
2006.
Yes.
And when did you file a restraining order
I
against him?
filed November 2nd, but he was served November 14th at 5:55 a.m.
But you had filed it on November 2nd.
Yes.
I want to see the allegations that you put in the restraining order application. Thank you. You filed this on November the 2nd, and according to this, it says the most recent date of abuse was September 10th, 2006. And you say he strangled me to the point that I could not scream anymore. He also stated that he would only get a slap on the wrists.
If he did it again.
It would be something he would hit me because it was his first offense. And you filed this 2 months later. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Between September 10th and November the 2nd, when you went to the police to file for this restraining order, where were you living?
I was staying there, but he wasn't.
You were in the apartment.
Yes.
And he was not living there.
He was still living there, but he never came home. He was in and out. He would go to his mom's house. We were sleeping in separate bedrooms. I was sleeping in my daughter's room, and he was sleeping in our bedroom.
Fine. So then my question, 2 months later, what prompted you to go to the police?
I don't have transportation. Not only was I trying to get to the courthouse to file a restraining order on him, everything in between then, I was going to the police station. I was always talking to the police about what I can do about our child and him getting out of the apartment, but not necessarily him moving out because I still needed him to pay his half of the rent.
Just a second. You asked for, in your restraining order, a stay-away order asking that he may not be within 15 feet from you. How was he supposed to be within 15 feet from you if he was still living in the apartment?
Because at the time, whenever he would come home, he would go in his room, and I'll either be sleeping in the living room on the floor or in our bedroom.
Listen, did you want him out of the apartment or in the apartment?
I wanted him to stay because he was still on
Then
the
there was
lease.
no reason for you to file for a protective order.
I just
It's
didn't want him to
nonsense.
hit me again.
You said that the last time he put his hands on you was when he choked you 2 months before. That's what you swore to in here.
Yes.
So that there had to be a reason, 2 months later, that you went to the police. You managed to find your way to the police.
Yes.
And file this protective order.
I went to the courthouse to file that.
Listen, you're not being honest with me. He moved out. He had a right to move out. He would have been crazy to stay there. Absolutely insane to stay there with a protective order. When all you have to do is pick up the phone, call the police, they come, they arrest him, and all you have to do is say he threatened me, and he finds himself in jail. So he would be insane to stay in the apartment.
May I please say something?
Sure.
It says right here that he was not even served. He didn't even know I had a restraining order on him until after. I'm telling you.
It doesn't make any difference whether he knew or not, madam. You knew.
Yes.
So how dare you come here knowing that you had the restraining order, that you didn't serve on him for another couple of days, but you knew you had it,
Yes.
and still want him to pay rent?
Because his name was still on the lease. I did not ask Devin to leave. They said 15 feet because his name was still on the lease. They could not kick him out. I had no choice. I didn't want him to put his hands on me again, Judge.
Good.
I was afraid. I didn't know what else to do.
I understand. You should have left. Should have left. But you can't go get a restraining order on him and say you have to stay in the house, despite the fact that I have a restraining order on you.
Okay.
So now you are like my prisoner. You look at me cross-eyed, I'm going to call the police. Whether he did anything bad to you in September or not, I don't know. Certainly you didn't go to the police in September. So he would be nuts to stay with you. And now you come to court
Yes.
and you say, I want him to pay the rent.
Yes, because...
When he did nothing to you in November, nothing to you in October, nothing to you 3 weeks in September. If I believe that you got into a fight and he put his hands on you in September, I'm not condoning that.
Okay.
And if you put him out right away, I would have said okay.
Okay.
And if I believed that he choked you in September, I would have said, you're bad. You have to pay the rent.
Okay.
But when you wait 2 months, there's something else going on.
I tried.
Okay,
I
I'm
did
trying
everything.
to. Believe
No,
me,
Judge,
I'm trying.
I did everything I could to get to the police department. I went throughout the month of October to get information on what I could do because he's the father of my child. I was trying to ask for information about child custody and what I could do about everything.
I'm not talking about child custody.
I know
I'm talking
domestic violence.
I'm talking about a restraining order.
Okay.
Not child custody, not support,
Okay.
not anything else. Just about the fact that you were in abject fear of him and in need of a protective order that excluded him from the house. Because not to be within 15 feet of you is a ridiculous order against somebody that you expect to live in the apartment with you. Ridiculous. I'm telling you, you cannot live with somebody with a restraining order and expect them to stay in the apartment. Because of the way the laws are recognized now, all you have to do is call the police and say, he looked at me cross-eyed, I want him arrested. And then he's there on a violation of a protective order, which allows them to incarcerate him for up to 6 months by just looking at you cross-eyed.
But those were not my intentions.
Oh, listen, I don't care what your intentions were or not. The fact is you did have a restraining order against him, and he was perfectly right to leave because you didn't go and file that restraining order at the time you allege he hurt you. You waited 2 months. So there was some other agenda that you had, and I don't know what that was because you look at me, like you don't understand what I'm talking about. But then you were served with a restraining order and you came back into the apartment with your mother.
No, not my mother.
When?
Around, I guess, a week later.
After you were served?
Yeah, I came, I got all my stuff, and then that was it.
Not true.
You came and you got some of your stuff, included the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's what she's annoyed at because the refrigerator, she said, was given to both of you as a couple by your mother.
She didn't give it to us both as a couple.
I don't care. Yeah, she did at the time because you were both eating out of the refrigerator, I assume. But he's allowed to keep the refrigerator.
It was not a week later. It was the same day because I had to purchase a refrigerator the very same day. I have the receipt with the date.
But I don't understand what you want, and I don't understand what your pain and suffering is.
Because I almost had a miscarriage. I had to be taken out of school literally on November 29th. My doctor had to write me an excuse because I had to keep on being rushed to the hospital. And I have all the hospital papers stating that I had
You have a hospital paper that says it's his fault that you almost had a miscarriage?
Well, it was stress.
Of course it's stressful. Life is stressful, madam. Life is stressful.
Yes, it is.
Life is stressful. You don't want to be stressed until you're sure about somebody. You shouldn't get pregnant by them.
Actually, those were my intentions either.
Well, it's not your intentions. That what you do is you take care.
But I was on birth control. I have the papers proving that I was on birth control. You would like to see it?
Well, I suggest you sue the birth control company because it failed. Listen to me, Miss Hines. Are you living in the apartment now by yourself?
Yes. No.
Well, how are you supporting yourself?
I had money that was saved up, and I spent all that money on the rent.
How old are you?
I'm 20 and a half.
So why don't you go to your father or your mother's house? You're 20 years old and you have a baby. He should pay child support, but he's not going to support you. You're not his wife.
No,
He said he'll contribute to the support of his child. He absolutely should do that.
But he's
Are you
not.
paying child support?
No, not yet.
Why not?
She just, I don't know, she just filed it, I guess.
She doesn't have to file it. Did you see your baby?
Yeah.
Well,
no.
You have to take care of your baby.
I see him when I can. I work about 6 days a week, so I can't be there all the time.
Well, if you work 6 days a week, then what you should do is you should have enough money to help support him.
But he
And you don't
doesn't.
need a court order to tell you that, sir. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I should see the money coming out of your wallet right now.
Please, for some diapers. I would like some diapers.
Listen
for
to
our
me. Don't
son.
talk to him.
Okay, I won't.
I should see money coming out of your wallet now. Did you hear what I said?
I heard you.
Get it out.
Don't have none in my wallet.
How could a man who works 6 days a week not have any money in their wallet?
I don't keep money in my wallet.
Where do you keep it?
In the bank.
Good. How much money do you have in the bank?
Don't know.
Well, I've got news for you, sir. When ultimately you're going to want to see this child, and the tape of this is going to be available for her, for whatever, you get no sympathy from me if a father needs a court order to tell him that he's supposed to pay child support. Court's not supposed to tell you that. And here is supposed to tell you that. Do you understand? So the support should be forthcoming. You don't have to pay anything for rent. Because she wanted to live alone, she filed for a protective order against you. And if that's the case, then she pays the rent. Got it?
Okay.
And if you don't want to pay the rent, go home to your mother. Or get a job and start supporting yourself.
I will.
Good. Perfect. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Ashley McLeod says former friend Justin Lawler owes for late fees associated with a broken window on her rental car. Ashley says police officers were forced to break into the car after Justin passed out drunk.
Ms. McLeod, you and the defendant were friends. It's my understanding that you wanted to take a little day road trip together. You needed a car, so you rented a car on your credit card.
Yes.
And you were going from someplace to San Diego?
Actually, we were going from Austin, Texas to South Padre Island. And Justin had told me that he had to be on the rental car agreement because I couldn't rent the car by myself because I was under 21.
Okay, but the car was leased with your credit card?
Yeah.
Okay, and he was driving?
Yes.
What time did you rent the car?
We had gone that Friday. It was sometime in the afternoon to rent the car. And then we were going to leave for South Padre shortly after we had rented the car.
And you did?
Yep.
Was he drinking?
When the incident occurred, he had been to a few bars. He'd had a few drinks.
Well, that would be a yes.
Yes.
To make a long story short, what happened was he took the car to go from one place to another. I don't know where you were going. But according to you, you pulled the car over and fell asleep, but fell into a dead sleep coma because the police came up to the car and they tried to wake you.
It was actually parked in a parking spot.
They tried to wake you, and they couldn't wake you from this deep coma sleep. They banged on the door, they rapped with their baton, and then they feared for your safety since the car was locked. They busted out the window of the car in order to ensure that you were safe.
Ashley McLeod says former friend Justin Lawler owes for late fees associated in her rental car. Ashley says police officers were forced to break into the car after Justin passed out drunk.
Now, the car had to be taken in to be fixed. You paid for the window, but it took time. And she was charged $500 extra on her credit card that she feels as if you're responsible for because but for the fact that you fell asleep in the car, it wouldn't have happened. That's your case.
Yes.
Mr. Lawler has an interesting defense that we are all breathlessly waiting to hear.
Well, when we first rented the car, I actually told her to get the rental car insurance because that way if anything did happen, we would not be liable for the damages done. And at that time, she said that she had insurance. It would be $100 cheaper. The guy rang up with the insurance on it for the rental car. And then she said, well, no, it'd be cheaper if we do it the other way. I didn't want to because I had rented a car before and know that if you get rental car insurance, it covers everything. So she insisted on putting her current insurance on there. And once we got down there, her mom, she talked to her, told her the insurance was on there. And then her mom said if anything happened to that car, that their insurance would get dropped. So the insurance didn't cover the actual damages done at all.
Can I say something? What?
No!
Sorry.
I'm not finished with him yet.
Sorry.
So let me understand his defense. His defense is she should have taken out the insurance.
Right.
That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds right to you?
Well, that sounds like what he said.
That sounds right. Yeah. Why did you fall asleep in the car, Mr. Lawler?
Why did I fall asleep in the car?
Just a second. Is there an echo in here? I know that you think that it's going to give you an opportunity to think of a reason.
He wasn't sleeping. Sorry.
I'll get back to you. Why did you fall asleep in the car?
I had a couple drinks and I passed out in the car. And it was parked in a parking spot.
There you go.
I was not driving the car, though, that night.
All right, Mr. Lawler, let's dissect what you just said to me.
Okay.
You think that because you talk fast that I'm not going to be able to dissect what you said to me? Okay. So you had had a few drinks and you passed out in the car.
I pulled the car over. I didn't drink. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what you just said. Had a few drinks. Now, where did you do this drinking?
I had a couple hotel rooms.
Not in bars. You were in hotel rooms.
No, I was actually... Sorry.
Who were you in hotel rooms with?
Just different kids we were selling tickets for our Akon party that next day.
How many different hotel rooms had you been in drinking that night?
Just a couple, actually.
Same hotel?
Just different ones.
Different hotels?
Yes.
How did you get there from one to the other?
I drove the first...
I drove.
The first one, yes.
Just a minute. I drove. And how'd you get to the second one?
The second one?
Yes, the
My
second
friend took
one.
me to the second one in his
The
car.
second one. Your friend took you in his car, and you left your car where?
There's a condo that was parked at.
You didn't tell me you were in a condo, sir. You said you were in hotel
Well,
rooms.
that's what South Potter has, condos and hotels. We just go to different ones.
You told me you were in a hotel room. Do you see where we're going, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Cameras pick up everything. So do my eyes. I have very, very bad vision when I have to read something without my glasses. Far away, I can tell a smirk and an I gotcha from a mile away. What do you do for a living?
I'm a promoter for a production company.
They're usually pretty glib and pretty light on their feet. Promoters. I've been promoting myself for 3 times as long as you're alive. You owe her for the car. And you're going to pay her for the car because it was your fault.
Even though the insurance...
Your fault! Nobody laid you down, pried open your mouth, and poured alcohol down your throat. Nobody told you to fall asleep in the car. Nobody told you not to tell your friend, would you please take me back to one of these condos where I'm supposed to be staying tonight? Nobody told you any of that. You were drunk. You drove a car drunk. You passed out in the car. Your fault. You pay for it.
The remaining charges that he owes me for is $541.63.
Did you pay for your half of the rental?
Yes.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $541.63. Thank you very much. That's all.
Eugene Tonda says the mother of his children, Amanda Petrie, owes for a loan to move out of his house. Amanda claims Eugene put her out of the home when she was 8.5 months pregnant.
Mr. Tonda, you and Miss Petrie have 2 children together. You've never been married. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
How old are your children?
4 and 2.5, almost 3.
And in what state did you live?
Minnesota.
Where do you live now?
I live in Texas. That's where I'm from.
Where do you live now?
I still reside in Minnesota.
Your complaint, Mr. Tonda, alleges a loan to the defendant, which she was paying for several years. And then when she left Minnesota with your children and moved to Texas, she stopped paying the loan. You want her to continue paying the loan.
Correct.
Ms. Petrie says that she was coerced into signing a paper or agreeing to repay this money. It was never intended to be a loan. And now that she's in Texas, she's not paying you another dime. Let's see. When did you make this loan and what was it for, sir?
I originally took out the loan, Your Honor, in March of 2004. It was to get Amanda into an apartment of her own. She was living with me, but we were not together at the time. She had just moved back from North Carolina, where she had relocated to go live with her sister for a while.
And she took your child with her?
Yeah, at the time we had just our son, Gino.
Were you happy about her going to live with her sister?
No, not at all.
Actually, his exact words were, I don't care. My sister was standing next to me. He wasn't involved. He wasn't paying child support.
Well, he must have been together with him at some point if your sister was in the room when he said, I don't care.
I went and told him. And she came with me.
Oh.
You told him what?
That I was thinking of moving to North Carolina, that he and I didn't get along. He was verbally and emotionally abusive, and it wasn't good for me, and it wasn't good for our son. He wasn't paying support at the time, and that I needed a fresh start.
And he said?
And he said, I don't care, whatever.
Actually, Your Honor, that's not true at all. I was paying support to her directly. And the manner of which she broke this news to me was we were actually at a bowling alley, and she had got furiated about some silly thing and then said, well, I'm moving to North Carolina, and just picked up and walked away. And it wasn't like a calm, cool, collected.
Was it in the bowling alley that you told him this?
I did tell him.
Fine. Got it. Okay, then you went to North Carolina. That didn't work out.
And he wasn't paying child support.
Moved back to Minnesota at what point?
I moved back at the end of November of '03. He convinced me to move back. We had found out I was pregnant with our daughter now, and I wasn't going to move back, and he convinced me to move back, that he had made mistakes, and he was going to be more involved. And then a week after we moved back, he had decided that living in his house was too much of a family union, and we just argued all the time. And then in March of '04, 3 weeks before I was due with our daughter, he kicked us out. He didn't take the loan out to help me. I wasn't searching for an apartment. I had no job at the time. I was due in 3 weeks. He took it out, didn't discuss it with me, had no idea, and said, you need to get out of my house. I let him know, I don't have a job. I'm due in 3 weeks. Where do you expect us to go? And he said, well, I took out a loan. So I didn't know about it. I've never signed anything.
Okay, let's go.
That, again, not the case. We had discussed it before. We were not together at the time. Yeah, she was living with me. I, at the time, had still originally purchased this house with a friend. So there was a couple roommates there, and it wasn't an environment for, 2 kids. There was, 2 other, mid-20-year-old men living there. So I let her live there as an accommodation until we could find something.
So you were living with him in a house with other adult males?
They lived in the basement, yes.
With other adult males?
Yes.
Did you share a room with him?
Yes.
In that house?
Yes.
Okay, so you're sharing a bedroom?
Correct.
So far, you're losing my sympathy, Mr. Tonda.
Well, it was an unfortunate circumstance. I mean, we had to do what we had to do, and that's why, I didn't kick her out. I brought up a proposition that I felt would be beneficial for both of us to get her into a room before our daughter was born.
Why? Who was going to be there to help her?
Who was going to be there to help her?
That's my question.
We had gotten a place, 15, 20 minutes away from my house, so...
That's 15 or 20 minutes. She's expecting a baby. She's living in Minnesota. I assume she has no family in Minnesota.
She did not have any family, per se, but my family had taken
She had no family in Minnesota. She's due in 3 weeks. Your child.
Yep.
So it would seem to me you'd want to keep her around at least until she's back up on her feet after the baby is born. This doesn't seem like the appropriate time to find her a new space, Mr. Tunda.
Well, I felt it was more appropriate before the baby was born than after.
You're wrong. It was selfish and babyish.
I disagree.
I don't give a rat's tutu whether you agree or disagree, sir. You want me to take a poll as to whether or not most mature adult males would say it was appropriate to find an 8.5-month pregnant woman who's got a 1-year-old a place of her own in a town where she has no family, sir? You want me to take a poll?
No,
you don't want to. You don't want a poll there, sir. Believe me.
I don't think it's necessary.
Believe me, you don't want a poll. It was a selfish thing to do. So you took out a loan. You got her an apartment.
Correct.
Right? Well, you didn't expect her to pay the rent, did you?
Well, not
How was she
right
supposed
away.
to pay the rent? 8.5 months pregnant.
Well, not right away, but that's why we took out the loan when she started working.
Let's see when.
When she started working.
Well, when did you think she was going to start working?
I would assume roughly 6 to 8 weeks after her daughter was born.
Right. And just a second. And what was she supposed to do with a 6-week-old baby and a 1-year-old baby? What was she supposed to do with those?
Well, it's not like she was just on her own. I mean, obviously, I was an active parent involved in paying support, so she had the support that I was paying her.
Just a second. That's not being an active parent.
I don't understand what's not being an active parent.
Giving money is not an active parent.
No, that was to help the situation. It wasn't. I'm not defining being an active parent by taking out a loan.
Well, what did you do when she got this apartment by herself? Did you go over there every day?
I was over there quite a bit, actually.
That's not my question. Did you go over there every day to take care of your son?
Well, I wouldn't say every day.
Well, what did you expect her to do with the baby and a new baby when you weren't there? What did you expect her to do?
Your Honor, it's a circumstance where, unfortunately, we weren't together and it didn't work out. But I felt I did what I could to help her out, and, my family...
So then what are you doing here? My question to you, sir, is what are you doing here? You took out a loan to get her an apartment so she could be on her own after impregnating her twice.
Well, I'm here to... a loan is the key word. She agreed to pay, and she faithfully paid on it for 2 years on the loan. And then once I filed for custody of my children, because she picked up and moved to Texas with 5 days notice... Well, that was a bad
thing for her to do, to pick up and move to Texas if you were a good and involved father.
Because she has only her best interest in mind, not the interest of the children, hence the reason that I filed for custody.
And you only have the best interests of the children in mind.
Actually, I do, Your Honor.
Then what are you doing here? How much support were you paying 2 years ago?
When we had just our son born, I was giving her about $400 a month.
$400 a month?
A month.
That's incorrect.
Okay.
I was giving her $200 every 2 weeks.
And what do you give her now?
$800.
Every 2 weeks?
No, $800 a month is what the court has ordered me to pay.
Well, that's the same thing as you were paying her before, for one child. Now you're giving her the same amount for 2 children.
Right, which is double. Normally, it's only a 10% increase from the first one to the second one. So
that doesn't sound like, sir, the best interest of the children percentage. It's usually a 10% increase?
Yeah, 25% of your income for the first one, and then in Minnesota it's 35%.
No, that's not, sir, you don't get confused.
Well, I know it's not 10%.
Those are the minimum federal child support guidelines, which have been adapted in every jurisdiction. That's the minimum. Do you work?
Yes, ma'am, and I'm in school.
Who takes care of the children?
They go to Child Builders Christian School. It's a private preschool.
And who pays for it?
I do.
How much do you pay for daycare?
$650 a month.
Okay, so she pays $650 a month. And how much of the daycare do you pay, Mr. Tanda?
I believe a portion of the total support goes to that. I do nothing specific.
That's not what I asked you.
Well, I don't pay anything directly to the...
Right. So if we take away what you pay, which is $800 a month, from the $650 that she pays just to keep the children so that she can work, we have a grand total of $150 a month. I'm speaking. I'm speaking. We're going to divide that by 2 equals $75 a month for each child. And that we're going to divide by 30 equals $2.50 a day is what you pay for each of your children in child support.
May I speak now, Your Honor?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know her exact financial situation, but obviously I want to be involved to the point where I'm filing for custody of my children. And the fact is that she must not be hurting too bad because she's obviously able to afford a lawyer to fly up to Minnesota to try to fight from keeping me from having the opportunity to have my kids reside in the state where I live.
Mr. Tanda, I want you to listen very carefully, sir. I have tremendous sympathy for non-custodial parents who don't see their children. And I have usually very little sympathy for custodial parents who pick up and move away and make it difficult for the non-custodial parents to see their children. usually. But let me explain to you, sir, that in this case, Miss Petrie followed you from Wisconsin to Minnesota, where you live. 2 times, right?
Correct.
And when she came back the second time, she had a baby, and it didn't work out. You say, I fulfilled my obligation because I wanted to be close to my children, paid the rent so it would be comfortable and easy for her, and gave her $200. But out of that $200, I expected her to work with 2 children, and to pay for daycare, and to pay me back my loan. Do you see why sympathy is waning for you, Mr. Tanda?
Your Honor, the state was picking up the majority of the tab of the daycare when they were in Minnesota, so the situation that we had in Minnesota was perfectly fine.
No, it wasn't working fine. You put her out and put her in her own apartment. And what you're supposed to say, Mr. Tanda, is, I'm sorry for bringing you to court. It was a stupid thing for me to do because I have found a very unsympathetic judge who doesn't find that this was a loan. The court finds that it was a very comfortable way for you to stay in your house with your 2 bachelor boyfriends and get rid of your responsibility that you didn't have to deal with on a regular basis, which clearly, according to your own testimony, you didn't. You weren't at her apartment every day after the baby was born, taking care of your son, taking care of your daughter.
Well, maybe 6 out of 7 days. I don't, you know.
Yeah, baloney. Coming over and spending an hour is not being there to do the job of a parent, sir.
Than an hour.
And I'm not saying that she was smart to have a second child with you.
No.
1 mistake I can understand. 2 is dumb.
I agree.
But it takes 2 to tango.
It does.
What I'm telling you is, right now, the mother of your 2 children seems to be taking care of her financial responsibilities relatively comfortably. She's got a job, she pays for daycare, and she's doing that with marginal help from you.
Well, unfortunately, with her picking up, moving 1,300 miles away,
where did you expect her? Listen to me, sir. Where did you expect her to move to? You expected her to move to a jurisdiction that was closer to you, where she had nobody?
No, she picked up and gave me 5 days' notice when I'm supposed to have my kids for a Christmas vacation, and she calls and tells me they're not coming and she's moving to Texas.
Right.
So
that's where her family is, though. That's where her family is, right?
Her mother, who she said nothing but bad things about the whole time.
Her mother and who else?
Her brother lives a few hours away.
Got a mother and a brother.
Yep.
What do you do for a living?
I work for a cell phone company.
Which cell phone company?
Verizon Wireless.
Good. They have offices in Texas. Why don't you move there?
It's
Listen to me. That's where your family is, sir. Your 2 children are in Texas. Her support system is in Texas.
She had a tremendous support system from my family, too.
Now, her family's not your family.
Right.
You want to be near your children?
Your Honor, can I talk
Go to Texas.
When our son was being delivered and her mother had called and she was holding our son, this is how much she adores her mother. She said, oh, that's the grandma
No, I
of
did
the phone.
not.
And we have it on videotape, Your Honor. So
Mr.
for her to say that that's an excuse to move down there and have her support system, she doesn't even barely get along with her mom.
Mr. Tanda, you get along with your mother?
I do get along with my mom.
Ever not get along with your mother, sir? Did you ever not get along with your mother?
I never badmouth my mom.
Did you ever not get along? That's not what I asked you. Did you ever not get along with your mother?
As much as everybody probably hasn't.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. There are a lot of curse words that go on in a labor and delivery room. A lot. I guarantee you that she called you a couple of names, too. If she didn't, she probably meant to. Let me explain something to you, sir. You don't have a profession where you're licensed to practice only in the state of Minnesota. And if I were you and if I wanted to see my children, I would call up my boss and I would say, please find me a place in Texas so you could be a lot closer to your children if that's in your mind. But based upon what I hear, you wanted her out of the house. You took out a loan. I see no reasonable expectation for the foreseeable future of you being paid back any money from somebody who now has 2 babies, no job, living in a place where she has no family. I don't see any reasonable expectation of you being paid back, sir. And that's part of a contract, if it's a loan. You did the right thing if you weren't getting along and helping her get set up. Don't be a fool now, Mr. Tanda. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Rochelle Mayfield is suing her daughter's ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old Salvador Ruiz, for wrecking her Hyundai Sonata while driving drunk.
Ms. Mayfield, this is your daughter?
Yes.
And this used to be her boyfriend?
Yes.
Does she live at home?
Yes.
Who else lives at home?
My husband and my 2 granddaughters.
Her children?
Yes.
How old are her children?
One is 7 and one is 5.
Where's their father?
He is their father.
That would be you. So this is what this case is about, Mr. Ruiz. You borrowed Miss Mayfield's car. You got the car from your former girlfriend.
Yes.
You had an accident with the car. The car was damaged to a point where it cannot be driven. And Miss Mayfield would like you to pay for the car, right?
Yes.
And you said, don't look at me. She gave me permission to drive the car.
That's correct.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You think he's ready?
He's not ready.
You think he'll ever be ready?
We'll see.
How old are you, Mr. Ruiz?
23.
Did you and Miss Mayfield's daughter ever live together?
We lived on our own for a while prior to moving in with Rochelle and her husband. And shortly after the accident, due to disputes and conflicts, we decided that we would split up.
What kind of work do you do?
Install carpet.
How much money do you earn a year?
We get paid by the yard per job that we do.
Mr. Ruiz, you're supposed to know how much you earn a year, sir.
I don't always make the same every year.
How much did you make last year?
More or less about $25,000.
Is that what you reported on your tax returns?
No, I did not.
What did you report on your tax returns?
I did not do my tax returns.
Did you get a special dispensation from somebody not to file tax returns, Mr. Ruiz?
See, I'm a subcontractor, and...
Subcontractors don't file tax returns? I have to check that out in the U.S. Code. I wonder what section of the U.S. Code it says that subcontractors don't file tax returns.
Whoever's in charge, whoever's our boss, they get the check, and then they have to split it up between, they then pay their workers, their subcontractors who they have working for them.
And I assume that you've been doing this work for the past several years, so you've never filed tax returns.
No, I haven't.
I knew it was going to get good. I knew. Everybody who works pays taxes. They file tax returns.
Right.
April 15th of every year, everybody scurries to the post office, signs their name, and puts a check in the mail. Sometimes you get a check back. The boss doesn't pay taxes. If you're an independent contractor, you pay your own taxes.
No, our supervisor, that's his duty to take care of, to file for, I think, quarterly taxes, he calls it, which we have to then pay, but then it's taken out from when we get paid from our checks.
Oh.
No, it's not an O. That's not an O. It's a duh. There's a difference between an O and a duh.
You said dope.
Mr. Ruiz, I assume that you've seen me on television before, sir.
From time to time,
right?
yes, Your Honor.
Do you think I'm an intelligent person?
Yes, I think you are.
You wouldn't think that I would lie to you, right? And if you think that I would lie to you, maybe because I may not like you for some reason, you don't think that he would lie to you, right?
I don't think that at all.
Tell him. What'd you tell him?
You have to pay taxes.
And you have to file tax returns, even if you don't owe any money. That way, when she takes you to court for support, she'll know exactly how much you're earning, right? All right, now, Mr. Ruiz, you want to explain to me, sir, before the IRS comes after you, why, sir, you don't owe Miss Mayfield the value of her car that you wrecked?
On the night of the accident, which was Sweetest Day.
Which was what?
Sweetest Day.
Sweetest?
Sweetest Day. Basically, we had a conversation about it earlier. It's probably been around about 30 years. Seemed to have just appeared maybe 9 years ago. We chalk it up as a Hallmark holiday.
Similar to Valentine's Day.
Right.
Myself and her daughter, Brandy, we had plans to go out that night. She blew me off to go out with her friends. Later that night, after she found out her friends blew her off to be with their boyfriends and whatnot, she told me, okay, well, now we can go out and, do whatever you wanted to do. I was upset with the fact that she had blown me off to begin with. So I explained to her that, I don't want to...
So you didn't explain to her. You said, I'm not going with you. And what did you do?
No, I did explain to her. I told her my reason as to why I didn't want to go with her anymore.
Right. I'm
and
not
I pointed out
second
the fact
choice. I'm not second choice or third choice.
Right. I wanted her to know that.
Come on.
So I told her I was
the
going out by
IRS is
myself.
almost at your door.
I told her I was going to go out by myself. She said, okay, here's the keys, go ahead. I went out to a bar, I had a couple drinks.
When did you go out? At what time?
It was...
When did he go out? What time?
It had been around 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. What time did you get home?
Say a little bit before 12.
So you were gone for 3 hours?
Right.
And what bar did you go to for this 3 hours?
A bar and a restaurant called The Brat.
There with?
By myself.
So you weren't even talking to anybody?
No, well, the bartender.
Just the bartender?
I mean, he was wondering
And then
why.
you had an accident coming home and your car went in the ditch?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm still waiting for the explanation, sir, of why you're not responsible for this accident after you had had an evening of drinking and were driving somebody else's car.
Well, I was struck by another vehicle. That's what caused me to go onto the side of the road to the ditch. The car that struck me took off. I started to follow the vehicle. So after I realized I couldn't catch up to him, I proceeded to go back to their house.
I explained to her.
I'm getting, well, you get to a point why you're not responsible.
For one, I didn't cause the accident. After I went to go try to file the police reports, I found out the car didn't have insurance. And I attempted many times to file the police report to try to get some kind of outcome out of it.
How many times did you go and file the police report?
I never got to file the
How
police report.
many times did you try? You said you spent a lot of time trying.
I called more than 5 times. I had called the
Who did you call?
The sheriff's office.
You called at least 5 times.
Yes,
Should
and
have
they
called the
kept giving me
IRS
the runaround.
once. 4 times the police department, 1 time IRS. Where's the car now?
It's at my house.
You have what it'll take to fix it?
Yes, I do.
Let me see.
And pictures of the car.
What year car is it?
It's a 2001.
Why isn't it insured?
Unfortunately, at the time, my husband had received a speeding ticket. At the time, his vehicle insurance was coming due, and it went up about $900. So the insurance lapsed on my car.
You owe any money on this car?
Yes, I do. I still make monthly payments for it.
You're in big trouble. You don't live together anymore, or do you live together?
I live with my mother. I don't live with him anymore.
Where does he live?
In
Stand up.
Illinois.
Stand up. When was the last time you spent an evening with Mr. Ruiz?
Before he moved out.
Does he send you any money for the children?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not an answer.
No, he doesn't give me child support. He buys the girls stuff for school and then in clothes. I don't get like a regular amount a month.
Why not?
I don't ask for it. I just ask if I need something, I ask him for it.
That's not the way it works. He's supposed to pay money, cash money. Wants to buy his daughter's clothing? Terrific. That's what fathers do.
I know that's my mistake.
Has he ever been declared the father of these children in a court?
No, but he is the father.
I didn't ask you whether he is or not.
No.
Has the state ever paid any money towards these children's support?
No. I've worked for 7 years since my first daughter was born.
He's supposed to pay child support. And you're supposed to help your mother.
I do help my mother. I pay rent and I pay for...
If what you're telling me is you don't need Mr. Ruiz's money, then what I'm going to tell you is this. You open up 2 bank accounts in your children's names and say, I'm going to pay my mother the support for the house and for the gas and electric and food and everything else. I'm going to take Mr. Ruiz's money, I'm going to put it in the bank for their college. You would like your children to have a future?
Yes.
Well, get it from their father. Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Tara Dotson says her ex-boyfriend, Jesse Harrison, owes for kicking her truck. Jesse says Tara got him fired from his job.
Ms. Dotson, according to the complaint that I've read, the defendant used to be a boyfriend of yours. He is no longer a boyfriend of yours, but you claim that after you had already broken up, he vandalized your car on 2 separate occasions. Mr. Harrison says that he did no such thing. When did you end your relationship with him?
Approximately around July 15th of 2005.
How long had you been together?
Approximately about 1.5 years.
Did you ever live together?
Yes, ma'am.
For how long?
Approximately 1 year.
Did you live in your house or his house?
My home.
Who do you live with?
I live with myself and my children.
How old are your children?
I have a 9-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old.
When did he move out?
Probably around June of 2005. And
why?
It wasn't working. I had a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I felt like life was taking me in other directions, and I felt like I couldn't do all the things I needed to with him. He was becoming very controlling, very possessive.
Was he working when he moved in with you?
Yes, he was.
Did he remain employed during the year that he lived there?
No.
He did not?
He did not.
When did he lose his job?
Approximately 4 months after we lived together.
Were you working?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a full-time student at IUSB, and I also tutor at Jackson Middle School.
Okay. When was the first incident of your car being vandalized?
September 15th.
Tell me what happened.
That day I actually had surgery at St. Joe Medical Center, and after that my friend Christine, she's right here, her and I and Jesse Harrison, we all went to my friend Heather's house.
How did he get involved with you on that day if you had broken up 2 months before?
I called him from my home and I told him that I was having surgery that day, and he asked hospital. And I told him I didn't care, but inside I felt like I needed him for support. He's been my main support person. And then when I was at the hospital and they were taking me to the pre-op, he showed up.
Did he drive you home?
No.
Who took you home?
Christine drove her car, and she drove me and her to Heather's, and he drove my truck. And when I left the hospital, I was upset that he was driving my truck. I did not want him to do that because he has no license. And when we got to Heather's house, we had this argument, and he got mad at me because I didn't want him to drive the truck. And he said, well, I was there for you at the hospital. And I told him, you didn't have to be there for me at the hospital. I had somebody else who could have been.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Shh, come back to you. Go ahead.
And at that point, he just yelled, and these were his words verbatim. He said, who, Petey? And then he kicked my truck and threw a flower pot at it. And then he ran between two houses, and that's when I saw an officer on a bike, and I stopped him, and he made a police report for me.
Okay. When was the next time that your car was vandalized?
The next accident was on the 16th of September, 2005.
Right.
Again, at that time, I was still under medication for my surgery. My doctor told me that I needed to do bed rest for a week. At that time, I went over to my friend Christine's house. Jesse was there, and...
How did he get there?
He drove me.
So you called him again?
I had to take my kids.
Just a second. So after you saw him kick your truck and throw a flower pot at it and report it to the police, you called him again to pick you up?
Your Honor.
Just a second. Is that what you're telling me? Don't give me an excuse. That's a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
When had you called him?
You know, I'm not...
That morning? The evening after? When?
I think it was the next morning.
Where were your children?
My children were at my friend Christine's house. I needed to take them some supplies, and I wasn't allowed to drive.
So you called him and said what?
I asked him if he could take me to take Christine some supplies.
And what did he say?
Yes.
You didn't say to him, I reported you to the police yesterday?
No, he knew. He saw the police while he was running.
No, it's not true.
He doesn't know how the police got there, madam. I'm asking you whether you told him that you had called the police the day before.
No, I did not tell him that I called the police the day before.
You just said, do me a favor, pick me up and take me over. How was he supposed to pick you up and take you over to Christine's house?
I asked him to take me in my truck.
You asked him to drive?
Yes.
So it was okay for him to drive without a license when you asked him to, but you were annoyed that he drove without a license the day before.
The day before, I did not feel comfortable being with him.
That's not my question. You told me a moment ago, madam, that the day before you had an argument with him because you didn't want him to drive your car because he didn't have a license. That's what you told me. But the next day, because you needed to use him for something else, you told him to come to your house, pick you up, use your car, and take you to your friend Christine's house.
That is correct. My children needed supplies.
They needed water?
Diapers.
Is she incapable?
She had 5 kids at her house at that time, and she couldn't leave.
License, diapers. License, diapers. You used him. Mr. Harrison, after you went back over there, her car was vandalized again, sir. Were you angry on both of those occasions?
No, I didn't. I wasn't angry. It's just that she was just running her mouth, or she wanted to go in the house, and I didn't want to stay there.
Why don't you work?
I was working for her brother, detailing cars at his car lot, until she came up there starting trouble, and now I just go from car lot time to time and detail cars.
Is that how you support yourself?
That's
Yes,
not
ma'am.
true.
What does he do?
Actually, he was working for my brother, and he got fired from my brother's car lot because he was being obsessive and controlful, and my brother didn't want to be a part of it. At this time, he doesn't go from car lot to car lot detailing. He frequently sells stereos.
Ms. Dotson, although it looks to me as if butter would melt in your mouth and that you're a very intelligent woman, you're also a user. You used him like a rubber band. You say, get out, then come back, come to the hospital, I need your support, don't use my truck. Well, today you can't use my truck, tomorrow you can use my truck because I have to go someplace. And what I'm telling you is you can't toy with somebody's emotions like that. That's unacceptable behavior for an adult. Madam, if you needed somebody additionally to give you moral support in the hospital and you had already kicked him out of your house, you don't call him again for the day.
Well, Your Honor, my mom is deceased. My best friend was watching my kids. Who else loves me? I know he does.
Just a second. Well, that's using him. That's exactly what I'm saying to you. That's exactly what I'm saying to you. He loves you, but you don't love him. So if what you're doing is toying with his emotions, because you're saying, I need you.
Your Honor, I do.
Let's just listen. I need you. Now I'm finished with you. I need you again. Now I'm finished with you. That's cruel. And if what you're telling me is he loves you, and you know that, that makes you even the more cruel. You get me? What year is your truck?
My truck is in 1998.
And you have pictures of the damage that he did to your truck?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please. And your brother has a body repair shop?
No, actually, my brother has a car lot. He sells
Car
used
lot.
cars.
Does he also repair cars?
No.
No. That's too bad. Well, I get some stuff there to detail it a little bit. And you could probably get that dent pulled out by somebody for a couple of $100. Nowhere near $1,700. You have to learn to be a nicer person, madam.
I understand, Your Honor.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff. Not for $1,700, for $300. Get your car fixed for that. That's all. Step out.
Cassandra Arnold says her aunt, Anita Beam, won't return her living room furniture. Anita is countersuing, claiming Cassandra filed false charges with Child Protective Services.
Miss Arnold, the defendant is your aunt, and it is your claim that she has some furniture that belongs to you.
Yes.
In addition to that, you claim that she harassed you at a time when you were a tenant, along with your boyfriend?
My husband.
Your husband?
Yes.
Okay. When and why did you move in with your aunt, Miss Arnold?
I moved in with my aunt in February because I had no place to stay. I was living with my father at the time, and him and his girlfriend had split up, and I couldn't stay with my mom, so my aunt...
Just a second. So you were staying with your father and his girlfriend?
Right.
In whose apartment?
It was his girlfriend's house.
And how long had you been staying with your father?
Since I was 13.
So you moved in with your father to his girlfriend's house?
Right.
When they split up, where did your father go?
He went to one of his friends' home, and the reason why I couldn't go with him is because I have a little 16-pound cockapoo, and they already have dogs. So my aunt agreed to let me move in with her. I could keep my dog, and I would pay her $200 a month.
All right, so you moved in February, $200 a month. Right. And then what happened?
Around June, my boyfriend started spending a lot of time with me at my house. My aunt and her boyfriend were having problems. Her boyfriend wasn't working, and he couldn't pay his bills. So my aunt asked us if we would like to move into her basement and pay her $600 a month for the basement, which would include everything in the house, utilities, food, everything. We agreed and moved down into the basement.
Okay. What was your boyfriend doing at the time?
He was working on roofing. He was a roofer.
Okay. That was in June?
Yes.
Keep going.
And in August, my car had broken down, and I couldn't get to him from school. So
I let you use my car.
Shh, shh, shh. Don't interrupt. You'll have a chance. Okay. Go ahead.
Up until the point I was able to buy a new car, my aunt let me use her car. In exchange, we replaced the gas and did oil changes on her car. Towards the end of August, I bought a car for $800 and was only able to pay her $300 of the rent that I owed her. I told her that when we got our next paycheck, we would be able to make up the difference. She agreed to that. About a week later, she served us with eviction papers and put a lock on the upstairs door so we were not able to go and use the kitchen or the upstairs bathroom.
Okay.
And after that is when everything started getting out of control. My aunt would come downstairs drunk and call us out of our names. She would tell us to get the out of her house, and at some point she would badger us so bad that we did have to leave, and on 3 occasions actually we had to call the cops on her.
Okay.
Because she wouldn't leave us alone.
I don't get to the furniture. Somehow in your whole complaint you're talking about furniture, and you didn't tell me anything about the furniture.
The furniture, when we made the decision to move down into the basement, I had all of my belongings in storage.
What belongings did you have?
I had the furniture in storage.
What furniture?
The living room furniture. It was living room furniture. It was a 5-piece sectional couch and 2 antique parquet tables.
When had you purchased the 5-piece sectional?
The 5-piece sectional couch was purchased in Maryland.
By whom?
Me and my father. And when I moved out of his house, and I tried to go on my own at first, and I got my own place, and he gave me the furniture back. We put it in there, and then when it didn't work out in my own place, I put
Why didn't it work out in your own place?
Just jobs and bills and just being young and buying stupid stuff and not really paying attention to what's going on. So it didn't work out, and I moved back into my father's house.
And you put the furniture in storage?
Yes.
How did your aunt get it in her house?
My aunt was complaining because she says that her furniture embarrassed her. She had really not too nice furniture in her house. So I agreed to put the furniture in her house until I moved out.
Okay. All right, Miss Beam, let's get to the furniture first.
Well, I got rid of 2 complete sets of furniture to accommodate her furniture.
Why would you do that?
Because she could not afford to keep it in storage and pay me.
Listen, you don't get rid of wonderful furniture that
Well,
you
I didn't
love.
say it was the best.
All right. So her story has a ring of truth to it, Miss Beam, that you didn't like your furniture, that it was old.
Yeah, it was old, yes.
Okay.
And after she was there for a while, then she stated how she was going to give that to me because when she moved out, her and Travis were going to start fresh.
When she first put it in your house.
Yes.
She put it in your house, and she said to you, use it for as long as you like while I'm here. Is that right?
Yes.
And you say sometime later she told you, you keep it.
That's right.
When later?
I would say it was in the end of June.
The end of June?
Yeah, because that's when her car started breaking down and she started to need my car to get back and forth to work on a daily basis.
Okay. Now, Miss Beam, your counterclaim alleges that Miss Arnold called Child Protective Services on you, and she acknowledges that she did.
Yes.
How old is your child?
10.
Boy or a girl?
Boy.
Who is this person who's here with you?
It's my brother.
Does he live with you?
No, but he takes care of my son in the morning before he goes to school.
Tell me your name.
Bernard Homan.
How far do you live from your sister, Mr. Homan?
Between 3 and 4 miles.
Did you ever know your sister to have a drinking problem? Look at me. Did you ever know your sister to have a drinking problem?
No, I wouldn't say a problem, no.
What would you say, sir? And I want you to make sure you answer, because, you know, I know everything.
I understand.
So I want you to give me an answer.
She has more liquor bottles in her house than I do.
Have you ever seen your sister intoxicated?
In
Look
the
at me.
past, I have, yeah.
When was the last time you saw your sister intoxicated?
Probably over a year.
Where?
It was at a party.
Family party?
It was.
Did you ever have any concern about your sister and her drinking? Look at me. Don't look down. You see, that's a sign, sir.
Okay.
That's a sign. Did you ever have any concern about your sister and drinking?
No.
You should.
Why should he?
Because, I'm going to answer your question. Because people who abuse alcohol...
What makes you think I'm abusing?
Shh, listen to me. Listen to me. You ask me a question, I'm going to try to answer you.
Okay.
People who abuse alcohol have an affect. And when you've been involved in the court system for as long as I have, you develop an uncanny ability to be able to tell people by their affect who have, in the past or currently, abused either drugs or alcohol. And I'm going to tell you that you are not going to be able to convince me, especially after I listen to Brother, that you do not have an alcohol problem.
You're going to go by what two vindictive teenagers say about me?
Listen to me. No, has nothing to do with what they said about you.
Well, it
you
seems
weren't
like it
listening.
does.
You weren't listening to me.
Judge, you asked me if I thought she had a drinking problem. Exactly what would be your definition of a drinking problem? Perhaps mine and yours are different.
Aren't different, sir. Yours and mine are exactly the same. Miss Beam, listen to me. There are two things that I have to determine in this lawsuit. One, whether or not you are responsible for the furniture. And I find that the furniture was not given to you as a gift, that the furniture was given to you by this young lady to use, and that since I have no indication that this furniture is going to be returned in reasonable condition, and since she doesn't have a bill, and since it's a 5-piece sectional, I'm ascribing to this used furniture, which was used when she put it in your house, the whole kit and caboodle, not $5,000, $800. Then I have to...
She told me she only paid $250 from a crackhead for it.
Listen to me. Then I have to look at your counterclaim. The plaintiff acknowledges she called Child Protective Services. So there's no issue that she did. I believe that she did, at least in part, because of the bad blood that developed towards the end of her tenancy with you. Whether I find, by just a little bit more evidence, that there was some basis for her to call is the issue. And I don't want to go into, after the boyfriend moved out, whether you started to drink more.
It's not my boyfriend, it's my son's father.
Just 1 second. Did he live with you?
Yes, he did.
Okay. He wasn't your husband?
No.
Well, then how would you introduce him to people?
My son's father.
You would say, I'm living with my son's father?
Yep.
Not your boyfriend, not your fiancé?
No, I don't call a man that's 52 years old a boy.
Got it? Got it. Okay. Miss Arnold, what you said in your complaint was that as soon as you moved in, you realized that your aunt had a drinking problem and got nasty when she drank.
Yes.
But That happened as soon as you moved in.
It did.
In February. You didn't report it in February.
I had no place to
You
go.
didn't. I don't care whether you had no place to go or not. The issue in calling Child Protective Services is not whether you had a place to go. You're a grown-up. You called Child Protective Services after the eviction to get even. And if you were legitimately interested in the welfare of your 10-year-old cousin, you would have called Child Protective Services in February.
I was more...
Or March. Or April.
I was more interested in it now because after her boyfriend left, she started going really, really downhill. She started bringing strange men home. She staying out all night.
Listen to me. I'm dismissing your counterclaim, Ms. Beam. I find that there was, in all probability, justification for her making a report to Child Protective Services, irrespective of what her motives were. I am not directing you to return this sofa, sectionals, and 2 tables to her because I'm not sure what kind of condition they'd be in when they got back to her. And I am ruling in her favor in the amount of $800 for that furniture. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $800. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Kathleen Bowers is suing her former friend, Lana Batman, for damaging her Dodge Durango when she backed into a pole.
Miss Batman, you will forgive him, won't you?
Sure.
Good. Miss Bowers, this used to be your friend. She borrowed your car. She had an accident. You wanted to pay for the damage to your car. Miss Batman does acknowledge that she had an accident with the car. She said you should have used your insurance, and if you didn't have good enough insurance, that's your problem. That's pretty much your defense.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, correct.
How'd you damage her car?
I pulled into a carport trying to move, and when I pulled out, I was trying to look around the corner, and it hit the carport pole.
So the accident was your fault?
Yeah.
So how does that translate into use your insurance, and if you don't have insurance, you pay for it?
Well, if you don't have the proper insurance, why are you loaning your car out?
There's a she had proper insurance. You have liability?
Yes, actually, my mother had bought me the car, so my mother had full coverage insurance on the car. And at the time we were going to file the claim, Lana would not call her agency, because first we were going to try and go through hers. And so she came over and we discussed it, and she told me that since she had borrowed the car, she wanted me to pay half because I had lent it to her. We were going to do it out of pocket, so the insurance, because it was going to go onto her insurance, my mother's insurance, and yeah. So we were going to try to do it outside of there.
You were going to try to do it without using your insurance?
Yes.
Because certainly if you used your mother's insurance rates were at risk, and if you used hers, her insurance rates were potentially at risk.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know because Lana wouldn't get a hold of her insurance for me.
Whatever. You have an estimate?
I do.
Right. I called my insurance.
And?
And they said the insurance follows the car, not the person.
Okay.
That was
Ms.
a week after I had it
Just a
fixed.
second. Miss Batman, let me try to explain it to you, because I know that you really probably think you're right.
I am right.
Miss Batman, I want you to listen to me.
She shouldn't have loaned her car out.
I want you to listen to me carefully.
I didn't ask to borrow the car.
Listen to me. I want you to listen to me
She
carefully.
felt guilty.
Try listening. Okay, listen.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Can I say something?
First, you have to listen. I understand. Hey, listen. We live in a world of responsibility.
Right, and I'm very...
Just listen. Try not to plug up. Try to open up and listen. If you didn't want to accept the responsibility of using her car with caution, then you should not have taken her car. Now, based upon what you told me, you drove the car negligently, not on purpose, but you weren't looking, because certainly if you weren't looking in the right place or if you misjudged space, that's your fault. It's not fair for you to say, well, it's true that I caused the damage to her car, and I want her to bear the responsibility of fixing the car with her insurance, despite the fact that we all know that once you put in a claim for insurance, your premiums go up for sometimes up to 5 years. And that, Miss Batman, is just wrong.
Can I
It's
say
not thinking. I know that you have something you want to say, but I want you to try to absorb what I've said to you as an adult. Now, I will hear you.
Okay. First, I didn't borrow the car. She was supposed to help me move.
Shh, no, listen to me.
No,
Listen to
she was supposed to help me move, and she was going to drive the car. I didn't want to drive her car. She was sick, and she couldn't help me, as usual, And so she said, well, here, why don't you borrow my car? Because, I feel really guilty. So I said, no, I'll take my dad's truck. And she said, no, 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 take my car. Just take my car.
What does that have to do with what I just said to you?
Well,
how old are you?
30.
Listen to me.
But
If you're
I'm
30,
not finished.
if you're 30, but I'm going to stop you right. If you're 30, and if you say, no, I'll take my dad's truck, the reason you didn't want to take her car is because you didn't want to be responsible for it.
I didn't want to
Listen to
drive
me. You didn't want to be responsible for it.
Right, but she should have been responsible in saying, this is insured under my name. It's under my mother's insurance. You won't be covered.
Miss Batman, if you're 30 years old and somebody says, take my car, and you say, no, I don't want to take your truck, you're forcing me to take your truck, you're holding a gun to my head, I'm going to take your truck, but I'm not going to be responsible for it. If you take her car, you are responsible for acting in a way that doesn't cause damage to the car. And if you cause damage to it, that's your responsibility. Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,260.
Thank you very much, Judy.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
28-year-old Guinevere Johnson is suing William Glenn for the cost of caring for his step-grandson.
Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 350 on the calendar in the matter of Johnson versus Glenn.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Ms. Johnson, Mr. Glenn has a grandson, and I assume, Mr. Glenn, that you have guardianship of him?
That's correct.
Are you his paternal grandfather or maternal grandfather?
He's my step-grandson.
Who is the biological grandparent?
That'll be my wife.
Is she the maternal grandparent or paternal?
She's maternal.
How many children does her daughter have?
5.
Have you and your wife raised all 5 of her children?
That's correct.
What's her daughter's problem?
She has men problems, drug problems, not grown up enough to know what she has to do. She can have babies, just couldn't raise them.
Okay. And you took them in?
That's correct.
Who supported the children?
I supported the children solely.
You got no state aid for the children?
The Medi-Cal and a minor amount, I think it was maybe 130 possibly per child.
Mr. Glenn, we're going to think a little bit harder, sir. You're going to give me the figure of how much you received from the state for this child.
It's $841 for 3.
Well, why don't you show me, sir? It's $800 a month as of July 1st, 2005. That would be $266 per month for each child. This is what your lawsuit is about, Miss Johnson. This particular child, whose name is? Stephen, came to live with you.
Correct.
And you are suing his grandfather for support because he lived with you for how long?
From the middle of June until, I believe, the 1st of October.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding his coming to see you.
He had come to stay with me for a weekend. During that time, one of his older sisters was down visiting. His 2 older sisters live in Florida with their mother, and she was down visiting. She did not spend much time with Stephen while she was down visiting. However, she did come to let me know that Stephen was no longer allowed to go home. So I then talked to Bill, and he informed me that his wife stated Stephen was no longer welcome in their home.
You having problems with him, sir?
He's a problem child. He has many problems, yes.
This was in June?
Well, the discussion was never with Guinevere. It was with her mother, who originally really loved Stephen and wanted to take him under her wings and take him to the ranch and, just take care of him because he's a good kid when he wants to be, and he's a very hard worker, and that's what they wanted at the time, to have Stephen on the ranch with her. They had an accident up there, one of the children.
Just a second. When did Stephen go to live with Miss Johnson?
I guess it would be July.
And when did the support that you were receiving for Stephen from the state stop?
I think there should have been a cutoff date in July.
Don't tell me what you think, Mr. Glenn. I'm asking you a question. How many months after middle of June did you collect support from the state for Stephen? That's very easy for me to find out from the County of Ventura.
July, 4 months.
And how much money did you give Miss Johnson to take care of Stephen?
I didn't give her anything. I give Stephen a few things, and let me add, Your Honor, but let me add something.
Yeah.
These people at first wouldn't take anything. Stephen was a hard worker.
Now she wants something.
I understand.
She wants $5,000. That's not
actually,
going to
no, she
happen.
wants
I'm speaking. The taxpayers of the state of California, through their generosity, gives you $266 a month to defray your expenses for Stephen. Now, you had no expenses for Stephen. July, August, and September. That money to the people who were taking care of him. That's a no-brainer.
Well, it is actually a brainer because I've spoke with these people many times. It's not that we try to keep any money. We try to get her to go to family court with me several times to take
Not
care of
family court. She didn't want to go to family court. She didn't want to become responsible in the eyes of the state to take care of him because she was going to give this a test run. If he was so bad, he wasn't good. I'm speaking. If he was so bad that your wife, his grandmother, related to him by blood, said that he's not welcome in my house, it would have been stupid for her or her mother to go to family court and say, we're going to accept responsibility, we want to be his guardians. But if he's staying with them, don't tell me you wanted them to go to court. You just should have gone over there with $266 in cash every month and said, this is to help defray Stephen's expenses.
She wanted me to give her adopting money. She wanted $3,000 a month.
Why didn't you just turn over to her, Mr. Glenn, what you were getting and saying, I'm not going to give you $3,000 adoption money. Here's the money that I get from the state. If you don't like it, Stephen can come home.
She'd have got the money. It just turned out to be a big attitude thing, big problem with her to me.
Well, now you touched with my attitude, Mr. Glenn, because I sort of stand in the place of the citizens of the state of California, and they didn't give you a gift of $1,000. They didn't give you a gift. You should have taken this state money and given it to them. End of discussion. Is Stephen back with you now?
Yes, Your Honor. He worked for these people, and my granddaughter visited them, and my granddaughter discussed with Guinevere and Stephanie. They wouldn't take a dime because Stephen does so much for, I know, but he does so much.
Mr. Glenn, then you should have taken the $266 and returned it to the citizens. Listen to me! And returned it to the citizens of the state of California. My question is, did you do that?
I absolutely called him and told him there's going to be a change in custody.
That's not what I asked you.
No, I did not, according to your question.
The answer is you did not.
Did not.
What'd you do with it? You spent it.
Stephen got some of it. No. She got some of it, too.
No.
Yes, she did.
No.
She did.
No. Your counterclaim, sir, is that she came to your place of business and she embarrassed you.
Well, she did more than embarrass me at my business. I was with a couple of customers. She threw his bag on the ground. She came in the driveway real fast, and she said, you need to take your grandson to the hospital. I thought maybe he cut himself or, as usual, had something wrong with him. And she said, no, the damn mental hospital. Because you guys, you've destroyed him. You made him this way. And I raised 5 kids. I didn't make any of them bad.
Just a second. What I want, Mr. Glenn, is just the facts, sir.
Okay.
That's what she said. She dropped his bag, and she said, you better take him to a hospital, a mental hospital, because you destroyed him.
Yeah, and then she made a false report to Child Services, Protective Services.
Just a second. Did you bring him home?
Yes, I did.
And what happened when you brought him back to his grandfather's store?
What had happened is I'd gone to Children Protective Services first to explain to them the problems I was having with Stephen at my house, that he could no longer stay at my house because he was becoming a danger to my children. And a week before this, Bill had informed me that...
He wasn't a danger to your children.
Listen, I don't want you to say anything, sir. Oh. I want you to remember how this whole thing started. This whole thing started because you told her that your wife will no longer permit Stephen in the house. Your wife, his grandmother, by blood, said, this teenager, 14 years old,
14,
cannot come home. I don't care what you do with him, he's not coming home. They took him in, but evidently there was a good reason why his grandmother said, he can't stay at my house. And she finally found out after 3 months what those reasons were. So she did what was appropriate. She took him to Child Protective Services because she's supposed to take him. Child Protective Services had to be informed that his guardian said he couldn't come home. What was she supposed to do with him? Kick him out in the street?
They already knew that.
Just a second. She cannot put him out in the street because she has children. If she did that herself, Child Protective Services, what are you taking, a 14-year-old? You put him out in the street, we're going to come and take your children. What kind of a person are you? So she went to Child Protective Services, and she said, this is his behavior. Go ahead.
So I went to Children Protective Services. A couple weeks before that, I tried talking to a school counselor because this child needed a lot of help. When I went to Children Protective Services, they told me I had 2 options. I could take him if he was willing to go. They informed me that they felt, by what I was telling them, that he should go into a hospital and be evaluated because he was suicidal.
But he didn't want to go.
He did not want to go.
And you have no authority to put him there, you're not his guardian.
Correct.
So you have to take him home.
That was the only other option I had.
Fine. Now, did you call Child Protective Services at any time other than taking Stephen there that time? Did you call and complain about any behavior relative to his grandmother and grandfather?
No, I did not.
You have any information, Mr. Glenn, that Miss Johnson made any other false reports against you?
Well, she told Child Services that we allowed Stephen to lay around in his own filth. Never do, never have, never would. I mean, it's like the social service walked in the house. There was nothing wrong with our house.
All I know is, sir, that Miss Johnson took on a responsibility that she probably shouldn't have taken on since she has children. Because if the blood relatives of a child, Miss Johnson, say that they can't take care of him, there's a reason. There's usually a reason.
And she took him on because she needed the free labor.
Mr. Glenn, stop being stupid.
All right, well.
Stop being stupid. It would be as ridiculous to make that assumption about this lady who took him in for 3 months and who went to school, went to his guidance counselor, tried to get him involved in other things, and for me to say to you that you took care of your 5 grandchildren to get the state aid that you got for the 5 grandchildren since 1997. Wouldn't that be stupid?
Yes, it would be.
Oh, of course. That's not why you did it. I'm sure you took in your grandchildren because they needed a home. And because their grandmother felt as if she wanted to provide them a home because the child that she reared, that she raised, turned out to be an inappropriate parent.
That's correct.
Right. You have to return the $1,000 that you owe Miss Johnson that the state gave you. You have no right to keep it, Mr. Glenn, and your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
24-year-old Jeffrey Dexter is suing his ex-girlfriend, 24-year-old Helen Garlinghouse, for the return of his stereo and furniture. Helen says Jeffrey won't return her property either.
All right, let's see if we can get a consensus on some facts here. How long did you and the defendant live together, sir?
Me and Miss Garlinghouse lived together approximately 7 years.
How long did you and the plaintiff live together?
We were together for about 6 years, but we lived together off and on. There's times where he moved out for months at a time.
You have 1 child together.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? How old is that child?
5.
Boy or a girl?
Girl.
Mr. Dexter, it is your complaint that Miss Garlinghouse has some of your property.
Yes,
Miss
ma'am, she
Garlinghouse
does.
says you have some of her property. And in addition to having some of her property, you've been harassing her. She's got a counterclaim. The 2 of you come here after creating this mess and want somebody else to clean it up. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
So let me see if I can do this relatively quickly and painlessly for me mostly.
Jeffrey Dexter says his ex-girlfriend, Helen Garlinghouse, owes for the return of his property. Helen is countersuing for the return of a rifle.
What property does she have that you claim belongs to you?
She has my stereo, which I have a receipt for.
Stereo. And when did you buy the stereo?
2003, I believe.
When did you and Miss Garlinghouse separate?
In 2005.
When in 2005?
End of April, beginning of May.
So this stereo provided music for the 2 of you for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Who do you live with?
I have my own residence, and then half the time, I part-time live with John.
Who's John?
He's my boyfriend.
You have your own residence and you part-time live with John. What part of the time?
Mainly weekends or sometimes through the week.
Why?
I don't like being at my residence that I am right now. I mean, I worry about Jeff driving by my house, people stopping by. He's actually sent 2 different people over to John's house trying to find out if I'm there, if John's there, if John lives there, what John's last name is.
Where
and
is
the manager.
Where is your child when you're moving back and forth?
My child's with me.
Do you think you ought to start acting responsibly for your 5-year-old?
I do act responsible for my 5-year-old.
Not if you're shuttling her back and forth between your house and his house.
She has a room at each house. She has belongings at each house.
I'm just going to give you a very simple phrase, and that is, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. You know what that means? You don't think that they keep me in this job because I'm stupid, right?
No.
Right. Did you buy the stereo?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How did the stereo come to be left at her house?
During the process of us breaking up, I moved my clothes and some personal belongings, took with me at the time. I come back to retrieve my other stuff, and she had called the cops on me, stating I was trying to beat her windows in. I was trying to beat her windows in. My cousin was there. He wasn't able to appear today. I went to get my stuff. She would not let me have access to the house.
Now I got it. Don't say anything.
Okay.
Stereo. What else?
The couch.
Couch. When did you buy the couch?
Shh,
I don't want to hear you. You see I gave you a chance to talk and he was quiet? Button up.
2005, like January, February.
What else?
There's miscellaneous CDs. I have several items.
Listen to me. I'm not interested in your miscellaneous items.
Okay.
You have a 7-year relationship and a 5-year-old child. Don't bother me with Apple Coras and CDs. I'm not interested in that. Stereo and a sofa that you say you bought in 2005.
Yes, ma'am.
And what items do you say he has of yours?
He has my .30-06 rifle that he had given me for Christmas.
Just a minute, he has a rifle?
Mm-hmm. It's a hunting rifle.
Did you give her a rifle for Christmas?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Yes, he did. I wish I had the videotape. I don't have the videotape on me.
A rifle, what else?
My luggage that he had bought me, he took out of the garage the day he came and got his car.
Luggage. What else?
And my ball hitch that when he came and got his car, he wasn't able to move his car. And
A ball hitch?
It's a ball hitch.
You know what that is?
Yes, Your Honor. It plugs into the tow package on the back of a Blazer.
Who has the Blazer?
I do.
Has it.
Who has the ball hitch?
I have it.
Okay. What else?
And then that's all I have except for the harassment.
You're not going to harass her anymore, are you, sir?
I have not been harassing her, ma'am.
If you are or have been harassing her, you're not going to harass her anymore.
No, ma'am.
All
Your
right,
Honor, he's broken
first
restraint.
I'm speaking. First you get the lecture, then I'll deal with the property. Your 5-year-old daughter doesn't need this aggravation. Needs for you to behave like adults. I assume that when you had this child, you didn't bring her into the world to make her miserable. What you're doing is making her miserable. You have to start acting responsibly. A child needs a home. Not 2 homes. Not unless you're taking her to the French Riviera for the spring and Palm Beach for the winter. Do you understand? If you're taking her cross town to live part-time with John, that's unreasonable. Child needs a home, not 3 homes, 1, 2, 3. Do you understand? So, grow up. And a child doesn't need to have a stressed parent, which means if you're stressing her, cut it out. You made a mistake, put a period, and move on. I'm going to prepare an order. Listen very carefully. You want your luggage and ball hitch back?
Yes, ma'am.
You want your stereo and couch back?
Yes, ma'am.
You can make an exchange 5 days from today.
She didn't pay.
I'm
He didn't-
speaking. Listen to me very carefully. Grow up. Stereo, sofa, luggage, ball hitch. They either get exchanged at the same time or they don't get exchanged. Then just say, I'm going to buy a new stereo, a new sofa, I'm going to buy new luggage and a ball hitch. Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Grow up. Goodbye.
Megan Coe claims ex-boyfriend Ryan Anderson owes for loans to buy a car and to pay his DUI fines.
Mr. Anderson, you have this petrified look on your face.
Oh,
sir.
I'm not petrified at all.
Go see what we can do about that.
Okay.
Miss Coe was a girlfriend of yours?
Ex.
I said, I want you to listen very carefully. Put on your listening ears,
Sorry.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes, Your Honor.
I said Miss Coe was a girlfriend of yours, correct?
Yes.
And you knew her for a long time, but got into sort of a more committed relationship around 2003. Sometime, according to you, Miss Coe, in 2005, you loaned the defendant $2,000.
Correct.
Now you want that money back.
That's right.
Mr. Anderson says, never any discussion of paying you the money back? It was a gift?
Correct.
She gave you $2,000 when, Mr. Anderson?
It was approximately September of 2005.
Were you living together at the time?
Yes, we were.
What was the money for?
Well, it was some fines that I had occurred
What kind of fines?
through the court system.
What kind of fines?
They were for DUI conviction.
How much were the fines?
Approximately $900.
Did you pay any of the fines, sir?
I had paid some previously, and those were the remaining balance.
How much did you pay?
The total fines were about $2,800.
Is this the first DUI that you had had?
I had 2 within a short period of time.
That's why the fines were so high.
Yes, ma'am.
So you paid
$2,100, yes.
You paid $2,100.
The DUIs.
I assume that you have something that's going to indicate that that's not the case. I'll look at it in a minute, Ms. Coe. So why did you need the $900 from Ms. Coe?
I currently had no license, and I had to pay the fees off to acquire my license again. So I needed the money to pay off the fees to get my license to drive.
Okay.
And with the hours I was working, it was tough on Megan to get me to work and back from where we were living.
So you must have said something to her. You have to have said something to her, because otherwise she'd have to be clairvoyant to know that
Well,
you needed
she was
900.
fully aware.
she'd have to be clairvoyant to know that you needed $900, so that had to come a point when you said to her something like, I need $900 to pay for the rest of the fines.
Well, we were in a committed relationship at the time.
I don't care, we're committed relationship. I'm talking about words, spoken words.
I understand that. So there's going to be words exchanged knowing, well, how come you're not driving? Well, I'm not driving because I
Well,
still
that's what I
owe.
want to know. Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
That's what I want to know, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
I want to know what the conversation was, what you said,
Yes.
and what she said.
Megan knew of my circumstances.
Don't tell me what she knew. I want to know what
Okay,
you
Megan knew
said.
because of words being exchanged to each
I
other.
want the words.
I had told Megan that I had received 2 DUIs in the past, and I still owed an amount of $900 that I had to pay to acquire my license.
And she said to you?
And it came to a point where she told me when I was eligible for that she would help me pay for those fines.
And what did you say to her?
That I said that would be great. I could use that, then I could get a car, and I could get my license.
And she said, fine.
Yes.
And that's when she gave you the $900.
That's when the $900 came into play for the fees, yes.
And what was the other money she gave you?
Apparently, she paid $1,000 for a 1983 GMC Jimmy.
What do you mean apparently? What is that?
I've never seen a receipt or a bill of sale for it.
Well, who got the Jimmy?
I drive the Jimmy. The registration's in my name.
How did you get the car, sir?
Megan knew somebody who was selling the vehicle, and she told me that she had given the gentleman $1,000 for the 1983 Jimmy. Okay, I never saw a bill of sale.
And how did she give you the car?
He drove the car to my house. I looked at it and said, okay, you know, not a mechanic or anything, didn't look under the hood, didn't do any of that. You know, looked at it, it was in, you know, good condition for a 1983, had low miles. It's like, all right, $1,000, that's a good deal. You know, the book value's $1,500. No, that's not a problem. So she gave me the keys, went down as soon as I could with the fees paid, and got my license and got the car registered under my name.
Okay, and that's the money.
Yes.
So it's $1,900.
Approximately $1,900, yes.
Go.
All right.
Let's start with the DUI convictions and the fees. You were dying to tell me something.
I have receipts for the payment of the fees, and it's over $900. I went and paid myself in cash, went to the courthouse for him because he had no transportation. Do you want to see them, the receipts?
No, I believe it. He says that you paid them.
Also, it was never a gift to him. It was fully intended to be a loan. I did it to help him out so he could get his license so I would not have to drive him around.
Just tell me the conversation, madam.
In September, he was eligible to get his license back. And so he was in the mix of trying to get his license back. He had these DUI fines that he needed to pay off. So I told him that I would loan him $900+ to pay off his DUI fines. And he would to pay me back in monthly payments and with his January of 2006 tax refund.
Okay, did he do that?
No.
So he didn't pay you back in January 2006. When did you and Mr. Anderson separate?
January of 2006.
Tell me how that came about.
Well, Mr. Anderson's continues to drink excessively and black out, really pretty much assault me and pretty much say rude things to me. It pretty much came to the point the last night I was there that I had to sleep in front of the door so he would not leave and drink and drive again.
Okay, so the fines you paid, and what about the car? How did that come about?
He needed a car. I told him that I would loan him $1,000, and he would pay me back the same way as the DUI fines.
How did you find the car?
My friend was selling his GMC Jimmy. It was $1,000. I asked him if I could buy it from him for Ryan, and he said yes.
And you gave him a check?
I gave him the check.
And he gave you the keys?
He gave me the keys and the title.
And the title. And then you drove it home, or did he drive it home?
Nathan drove it home, the owner.
And where was Mr. Anderson?
Mr. Anderson was at the apartment.
Okay. Tell me what happened when you drove up.
I was like, here's the GMC Jimmy. What do you think of it? I think it's a great car for $1,000. I don't think you're going to be able to find something better for $1,000. And he agreed with me.
That's pretty much what he said? Mm-hmm. Was he working?
Yes, working full-time.
Just a second. September, October, November, December, he was working full-time. He now had a car.
Right.
How much of this $1,900 did he pay back to you?
Zero.
That's because it wasn't a loan. That's because it became a loan when you decided it was over. Because if it was a loan, he would have paid you $50 a month, $60 a month, $100 a month, $25 a week. He would have paid you back something between September and January.
He made excuses as to why he could not pay me back. He couldn't afford it going to school.
Then you should have thrown him out. What you did with the car was you spent $1,000 on a car and then you came home and surprised him. That's what you did. You didn't take him to buy the car. You didn't show him the car before you purchased it. You purchased a car for $1,000 and you came home and said, I got you wheels so that you could drive yourself to and from your job so that I don't have to do it anymore. And if the romance hadn't been over, he wouldn't have paid you back anything.
We continued to have conversations after January of 2006. On the telephone. I have a witness hearing me speak to him. I have a letter stating all the information from the maker of the transactions I did, having conversations with him, making payments.
And B, he's going to testify as to what you said to him on the telephone?
As into the payment arrangements that we have discussed payments on the phone, and he makes excuses every time why he cannot make a payment to me. He was supposed to also pay me with tuition reimbursements from his work. He always made an excuse. He had other bills to pay, so forth and so forth. And that is why I took it to small claims.
A year and a half later, a year and a half after you laid out $1,900.
Well, I told him that he had the chance to pay me, and after a quarter of a year, then I would take him to small claims.
After the romance is over, madam, is not the time to say now you have 3 months or 4 months or 5 months. I mean, I'm sympathetic with you, but you were in love with the guy and you thought your relationship was going someplace and you wanted him to have the means to get to work.
So because I did him a favor, I shouldn't get paid back a loan that we agreed. We had a verbal agreement.
Listen, I have to make a judgment as to whether or not you, who are sharing a home and having an intimate relationship with somebody, has said to them, this is a loan. You will pay me back in January out of your income tax returns. This is a loan. I am giving you $1,000 towards a car, but you go and buy the car, you purchase the car, you come back, you show him the car, and give him the keys. That's not a loan for a car. So, Ms. Coe, what I'm telling you is, I have to make a judgment. I'm sympathetic with you. I'm sympathetic with you. You're out $1,900, and if he had any moral fiber, he would pay you back. But if you gave him this money in September, and from September to January, he was working full-time and made absolutely no attempt to pay you back a nickel, not $5, and you tolerated that, I have to assume it was not a loan. Period. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Connie Adams says former friend Richard Hood owes for rent, loans, and harassment. Richard is countersuing for the return of his truck.
Ms. Adams, the defendant was a friend of yours who, according to your complaint, you were allowed to move into your home.
Correct.
You claim that he owes you some money for rent and for harassment and for a small loan that you made to him. Mr. Hood says that, as a matter of fact, he owes you nothing. Your relationship after he moved in changed, and that you told him he didn't have to pay rent. There was some point where he gave you the title to his car as collateral on the loan. It got very, very ugly, and Mr. Hood says that you actually kept some tools that were in his truck. He's counterclaiming for that property, and also he says that you've been harassing him. Is that right, Mr. Hood?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Hood, how do you know Miss Adams?
I did some work on her house about 3 to 4 years ago for another contractor, and I met her at a bar about a year before that, and did the work on her house, and when I got done, she was wanting to do some further work, so I said okay, and me and my girlfriend, we had a falling out, we split up, and I was asked to leave, and I went to Miss Adams, and I said, would you care to trade the work for the rent? And she agreed.
That's not true.
Shh. Well, it is true, because that's what you say in your complaint, that initially he asked to move in, and you agreed that until he found a job, because you didn't have a job at that point.
Correct.
According to her.
But he had one lined up.
Shh. According to your complaint, you said, well, you can do some work around the house until you start your job, and then you can pay me rent. Is that what she told you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. When did you move in?
It was around January. It was like maybe right around the 16th.
And what work did you do in the house?
She had a bathroom, didn't have enough plywood on the floor, so when you set the toilet down, the wax ring wouldn't fit right, so I had to build up some plywood around the toilet.
How long did that take you, Mr. Hood?
Probably a couple hours.
What else did you do in the house?
I patched holes in her walls. She had various holes.
How many various holes did she have?
Probably about maybe 5 or 6.
5 or 6 holes. With your
2.
hands, show me how big the holes were.
Just like pinholes were.
Little holes?
They're little tiny, like nail holes.
It was where a towel rack had fallen off the wall.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Speak not.
Sorry.
Little pinholes. So what you do is you go to the store, right? You get a little tub of that putty stuff. You go like this, you put it in, you smooth it over,
Yes,
right?
Your Honor. There was like maybe some like that too as well.
Oh,
Where
big
she
nails.
pulled a picture.
Big ones, so that you had to go like this
Yes, Your Honor.
instead of like this, right? Would you
Yes,
say
Your
it took you 20 minutes?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that now we have 2 hours and 20 minutes. What else did you do?
She wanted a wall framed in her basement, which I told her then I wasn't a framer either. So the wall would look good, to the eye it would look good, but it wasn't perfectly level. I didn't have levels. I had very little stuff to work with. But I had just enough, and I got the wall built.
You built a wall,
Yes, Your Honor.
an unlevel wall.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hood, how long would you say that it took you to build that wall?
Probably about 5 hours.
What else did you do?
I'm not.
That's about it.
Okay, so that we have, and I shot. Put it down. So this is what we have, Mr. Hood. We have 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 5 hours. That is 7.5 hours. That is a full day, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You moved in on what date? The 16th of
Yes, Your Honor.
January? On what date did you start to pay rent?
I think it was like a month, roughly about a month after
And
that.
how much was your rent per week, per month? What did you decide?
She decided she wanted to make it $100 a week.
$100 a week. And you worked for a day. And you lived there for a month before you started to pay rent,
Yes, Your Honor.
according to you. So that would mean that you owe her 4 and something weeks in a month. Let's say you have $450 for rent. So let's say I'm going to deduct $50 for all the work you did for her.
Okay.
$50. Is that fair?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is too easy. And when did you move out?
It was probably right around March. I don't know the exact date.
Miss Adams does. What day in March, Miss
March
Adams?
30th.
Oh, January, February, March. So he lived there about 3 months. How much did he pay you in rent?
$200.
When? In what month did he give you
The
$200?
last 2 weeks he was there.
What'd you let him stay for?
Well, I felt sorry for him because he was fighting for his children, and I took in the whole story about how the state had the kids in foster care and they were turning against him, and he hadn't seen the kids in months. He needed a decent place to stay where the children could come. And my heart went out to him. And once I let him move into the house, the state was allowing the children to come see him on Sundays, sometimes Saturdays, at my home, in my presence.
Is that true, Mr. Hood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
And I felt sorry for him, and I felt sorry for the children until I found out what he was really like, and I believe the children are better off where they are right now.
Why?
Because they're on a farm with their aunt, and these two are in the bars nearly every night. He met me in a bar. I was DJing at that bar. I wasn't drinking. I was the DJ there.
How do you know that they're at a bar every night?
I know several bar owners in town because I do DJ work.
How many children do you have, Mr. Hood?
I have 6 children, Your Honor.
How old are they?
One's 21, one's 10, and little girl's 17, one's 18, and then the 2 and 3-year-old.
When was the last time you lived with any of your children?
Roughly about a year.
And then the state removed them?
I was removed from the house because of domestic violence.
You were?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Adams. What else?
I have receipts for the loans that I gave him.
Let me see it.
All of those are receipts. And his bar tab.
I don't care about his bar tab. All these checks that you have circled are made out to cash, Miss Adams.
Right, because he doesn't have a bank account. I had to get cash to give him. It says in the memo that it was a loan to him on 2
I
of
don't
them.
care what it says in the memo.
Ma'am, he truly does owe me that money on that loan. He truly does.
You want to tell me about the lawyer's fee?
Yes, I do. He was in court at family court, and his attorney was not going to represent him. He called me several times, very upset, because he knew then he was going to lose guardianship of his children. And I said, I don't know what I can do. I don't really have a lot of funds.
When was
this? And he said, I think February 24th, January or February 24th.
Did you give your lawyer money on about the 24th of February?
Yes, I did, Your
From
Honor.
her?
Yes, you did.
I drove it
How
over
much?
to the court.
It was about $120, yes.
How much?
$150.
Which I paid her back.
He
Show
did
me.
not.
I don't have any receipts, Your
That's
Honor.
too bad.
Okay.
When did he leave and why?
He left the end of March because I had him removed from the home. Because
Why?
well, first of all, he was sexually harassing me, trying to come in my room
Not
when
true.
I was dressing after I'd come out of the shower.
Not true.
He had his hands all over me at his birthday party.
Who is
And
this?
This is my 23-year-old son. And
All right, at that,
several
at
events.
that point he left. Did the police put him out?
They came as standby, and I do have the standbys that shows the police presence for him to remove all of his possessions, with the exception of the truck because I had the title to the truck as collateral, and I showed it to the police officers. Then he went and said he had lost the title and went and fraudulently got another title for the truck so he could come get it. And the police escorted him there. If there was anything missing out of the truck, he would have complained to the police at that time.
Okay, I assume he has a police report where that's indicated. Do you have
I
a
don't
police
have any police report. She said I could come back.
No, I did not.
She said I could come back and
No,
get
I
the
did
stored
not.
stuff. I got most of it. There was some
Good.
stuff
Well,
I
if you
forgot.
then you should have gotten all of it, sir. Listen to me. My sense is that at some point or another, felt as if the money that you were laying out for him, he wasn't paying your rent, he certainly wasn't doing work around the house. He was drinking. There's no question about that because he didn't stop drinking for the 2.5 months he was living with you. If you're walking around with shades over your eyes, don't come to me to complain.
He had a job the very next day that he was going to start at $27 an hour, and I knew once he started working, I was going to get paid.
But
That's
you
why I
didn't.
got his
But
tools
according
out,
to
'cause
you,
he needed
you
the
didn't.
tools. Well, then he started the work on the wall, and the work that he did is so substandard that it's
Listen
going
to
to
me.
cost me $1,500 to fix what he did.
Well, that's your problem.
I don't think it is.
It is your problem because you're a big girl.
I really thought he was getting his life together for his kids. I used to be a preacher's wife. I went to Bible college. I was trying to do what we've been taught to do. I've learned now it doesn't pay to
It
help
doesn't-
people unless they're related to you.
And even then, not always. Let's get to your counterclaim, sir. Your counterclaim is for the tools. I'm dismissing that part of your counterclaim because unless you have a police report that indicates you still had tools in the truck, you got your truck back, you got everything back. If you're missing tools, that's too bad. So far, you owe $550.
He owes more than that. I also have telephone tape recordings where he tells me he owes me at least $900 and that he will pay it. I have a transcript and the tape right here.
Oh, well, that I'll hear. You have a tape that says he owes you $900?
That's correct. And that he wronged me, and that
I
he
don't
didn't
care if he
expect me to
wronged
give
you,
him the
I-
truck. Well, he said he didn't expect me to give him the truck until he'd paid for it.
Well, he doesn't say he owes you $900. Matter. What he says is, look, Connie, I don't want to argue with you or nothing. If I owe you $900, I'll pay you. That's what it says. That means, sir, that she must have said to you, you owe me $900, right?
She claimed that.
I told him he owed more, but that's what I gave him the truck back for, and
Listen.
I told him that in front of the police.
Hey, don't play with me. I've been in business a lot longer than you
the
have,
truck's
Miss Adams.
not worth even that much.
Well, just listen to me. Somewhere between telling him that he owed you $900 and you filing this case for $3,000, $2,100 got added
when I
on to
found
what
out
he
how
owed
much
you.
the damage was going to cost on the house, and he started harassing me. Even sent his girlfriend to crash my birthday party after he beat her up.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $550, which is what I said in the beginning. I believe that there was a relationship that was brewing.
No,
between-
I had a boyfriend, and I have a restraint.
The
He took out a restraining order, ma'am.
counterclaim is dismissed, so she owes you nothing.
That
you owe
the court threw out as a misuse of
$400 for the
justice.
rent, and $150 for the loan that you acknowledge. Goodbye.
Store owner Daniel Alvarez is suing his customer, Carmen Burgos, for cashing a counterfeit check at his store. Carmen says she was the victim of an internet scam.
Mr. Alvarez, what kind of store do you have, sir?
I have a general store. We sell music, we cash checks, we sell satellite. It's a little bit of everything.
The defendant was a customer of yours?
A regular customer. She had been there at least 4 or 5 occasions cashing checks.
And you charge a fee for that?
Yes, we do.
According to your complaint, sir, she came in with a check, which you cashed for her.
Correct.
And it turned out to be a bad check.
Yes.
And your bank withdrew the money from your account. You want her to compensate you for the check.
That is correct.
Ms. Burgos says it was a bad check. She was conned with this check, and she's sorry that you're out the money, but it's not her fault. It's the fault of the people who scammed her. That's her defense. Is that correct?
Yes,
Ms.
Your
Burgos?
Honor. I shouldn't
So
be
I
held
want you to
liable
tell
for it.
What?
I shouldn't be held liable for it because I had
Ms.
the
Burgos.
evidence. Yes.
Let's start from the beginning. Where did you get this check from?
It was mailed to me.
From an employer?
No, I'm always on the computer and I'm always filling out sweepstakes and filling out numbers for lotto on that. So when I received the check...
So you received the check because you thought you won a prize?
Yes, correct.
But she didn't tell me that, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Don't interrupt her.
I'm sorry.
Your Honor, he wasn't there at the moment.
Listen to me.
Yes.
You got a check in the mail and you didn't know where it came from.
Correct. Yes, I thought
So
it was
you thought
a
maybe
sweepstakes.
that you had played around with on the computer.
Yes, correct.
You have a copy of the letter?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to take a look at it.
Well, I have a copy because I gave Mr. Alvarez the original and the envelope that it came in.
Shh. Mr. Alvarez, I don't want you to interrupt her.
That's the original.
That is the original.
Cool.
And I also gave him the envelope it came in.
Now, this letter says that you won the North American Ballot Sweepstakes.
Correct.
And it tells you to call Debbie Baum in Canada.
Yes, Your Honor, and that's who I called.
Just for my own information, when you called her, what is it that you claim she said to you?
Well, I called her because at first I, like...
Joe, tell me, just answer my question.
I asked her about that I had received a check for a sweepstake for the sum of $2,900. And she told me yes, and I told her, well, it says here for processing. She goes, oh, no, that's no problem. You could go ahead and change. That's part of what you have won. There's 72 people that are in with it.
I read the letter. There's 72 people that are going to share in $1.8 million.
Right, and that's just the beginning of it, so you could go ahead and cash it.
Cash
so
it.
that's right.
Fine.
I went to
you have
Mr.
a copy of the check?
Yes, I have
I'd
the
like
original.
To see it. Oh, you have the original?
Yes.
Love
the bank
to see
returned it to me.
Love to see it. Shh. So you took the check into him?
Yes, correct.
To cash?
Yes. Like I've taken other checks.
State Employees Credit Union of Maryland, Inc. Well, I have to tell you, this certainly looks like, to my untrained eye, an official kind of check.
Correct. That's why I went to him and I cashed it.
Miss Burgos, I got it. You thought you woke up and it was your lucky day.
Yes, correct.
Bird, take a look at this. An interesting looking check? Right?
Wow. It even says official check.
It even says
Correct.
official
That's
check.
why I
and, just a minute, and they don't even ask you to do anything, like
Correct.
send them
That's
back
why-
half in this letter.
That's why I was like...
Don't, I'm speaking. Don't bother me. They don't even ask you to send back half. You know, sometimes say, send us $500 as a processing fee, and they just said, here's your $2,900.
Does it see the back?
Yeah, she's signed it, and it came back that it was suspected counterfeit. In any event, you gave her the money.
Yes, I did.
You have proof of that?
Just from the bank when they took the money out because...
I'd like to see it. Now, when you were notified by the bank,
Right.
yeah, they charged your account for $2,950.
Correct.
Okay. Now, when did you cash the check for her? On what date?
Around the 14th of November.
And the bank returned the check to you when?
They didn't return it until the 20th or 21st, but they notified me 2 days later. First,
So
they
on the
notified me.
16th.
Correct.
And when did you
I'm sorry, Your Honor,
notify?
it was after that.
Stop talking out! This is not a tea party! Now, when did you notify Miss Burgos?
That same day.
On the 16th,
Exactly.
2 days later.
Exactly.
How did you notify her?
I called her son-in-law because I know her son-in-law very well, and I called him up and I asked him to bring her over.
And when did he bring her over?
That same day.
On the 16th?
Exactly.
Okay, now tell me on the 16th what you said to her and what she
I
said.
told her, Miss Burgos, this check has returned counterfeit from the bank.
And she said to you?
I didn't know. And she produced this letter.
Good.
Correct. I said I
Just-
didn't
just
know.
So why didn't you return the money to him?
At the moment, I didn't have the money. I had paid some of debts that I had.
Just
So
a second. What difference does that make to him? Put your hand down. First of all, it's 2 days later.
It's not 2 days later, Your Honor. It was more than 2 days
How
later.
many days?
It was about 4 or 5 days later.
4 days. Show me what debts you paid.
Well, I had some medical bills that I had to pay, so I went
Just a
ahead.
second. So you paid your medical
Sure.
bills.
I
Medical
was
bills.
like-
What else? What else
I
did you
paid
pay?
my electric bill, my phone bill, all my bills, and I
Now,
had
let me
a
ask
few-
you this question, Ms. Burgos. Before you came into this cash windfall, how did you pay your electric bill?
Well, I would pay it monthly.
From what?
From what I receive and also
What do you
my
mean from what you
children's-
receive? I don't understand that statement. Do you
Well,
work?
I get a Social Security check every month.
For what?
For a disability.
What's the nature of your disability?
For asthma, arthritis.
You have asthma and arthritis and you can't work?
No.
I know a lot of people who have asthma and arthritis who can work just fine.
I had bad problems. I was diagnosed with disability. So I...
Wait, just a second. When were you diagnosed with a disability from asthma and arthritis?
2 years ago.
Ms. Burgos, I'm believing less and less of what you tell me, madam, but I will tell you this. If you paid your bills, which you are responsible for paying, Your medical bills, your electric bill, your phone bill, and I don't care what other kind of bills you paid, allegedly. And I know
And
you're
also I
lying.
bought
Listen
a
to
few-
me. And I know you're lying anyway.
No, I bought
Listen
a few
to me.
Christmas
Listen to me
presents,
very
yes.
carefully. And I know you're lying anyway. Then you have to pay him back the money.
Correct.
You paid your bills. You paid your bills. You're a scammer.
She told me
Let me
right
ask you this question. Who do you live with?
I live with my son and my daughter.
How old are they?
My daughter's 22 and my son is 19.
And what does your daughter do for a living?
She works. And my son
And your
also.
son?
He works.
Works.
They're the ones that help me with all the bills.
Because you don't work?
Yes.
Because of your asthma?
Yes.
She didn't tell me that. That day when she came in, she told me that she had only spent about $500 to $700
No, I told you that's
of
what
the
I
money.
had.
Burgos!
I had $500
Miss
to
Burgos!
$700.
I asked her specifically.
That's what I
I'm
told
so-
him I had.
Did you give it to him?
No,
Just
he told me.
shh, shh. So why did you spend that money instead of giving it back to him?
Well, I didn't have it on me at that time.
Why didn't you go home and get it?
The gentleman told me, Mr. Alvarez told me that he was going to send that letter, the letter from that they had
That is
received
not
to
true.
the bank. Yes, it is, Mr. Alvarez.
Just
that
a second.
he was going
So
to take
what?
that
If
letter
there's a
to
question,
the
listen
bank.
to me. If there's a question, why didn't you say, listen, if there's a question and if this check was bad, I don't want Mr. Alvarez to be out the rest of this money. I'm going to hold what I haven't spent and give it to him if he's out of pocket.
Well, I had held it. I had it.
So
and
why
when-
didn't you give it to him?
Because when I spoke to Mr. Alvarez on the phone, I told him I have the $500. He says, no, I want all the money. That's what he said.
That is
and I
true.
says, well, I don't have all the money at the moment, okay? I could give you at least $500 at a time. He said, no, I want all the money at the same
You want to know
time.
something? You're a scammer.
It was-
You've been scamming
no.
Social Security in all probability for the
No,
last
I
2
haven't.
years.
I
I don't know
haven't.
how you got Social Security disability. How old are you?
I'm 47.
47. I know people who are 67 with asthma, they work.
No, I am disabled.
You must have
It-
had a
it was-
really, really fine lawyer. You owe him $2,950, Miss Burgos. You're a scammer, and you knew you did the wrong thing as soon as he told you that check came back.
Yes. I'm
People very rarely get windfalls of money from the internet. Very rarely.
not a
Don't look like this to me.
I'm
I
not a
don't
scammer
know.
because
I don't know
that
how I
letter
got
had
Social
said-
Security disability. I don't know where I got this check from. I don't know. Well, now you know that this man who was doing you a favor cashed your check and got penalized because of your stupidity. He got penalized. But you said, listen, I got the money. Let him go after the people.
I
Let him
told
go
her
after.
not to
I'm
spend the money.
speaking.
No, I didn't.
Let
tell
him go
I
after
didn't
the
think
people.
That way. I did not think that way.
Well, then
I
you
did
should
not
have
think
returned
that
the
way.
money that you hadn't spent.
Okay, I did not. He didn't want the money that I had not spent.
So you spent
All
the
he
rest.
said-
Just a
no,
second. Hey,
I still
hey.
have the $500.
Supposed to set an example, Miss Burgos, for your children. You're not supposed to be a scammer.
I'm not
And
a
that,
scammer.
yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you believed in getting something for nothing.
No, I
And
have
you put
never
him in a
believed
very
that getting
precarious
nothing for
position.
nothing.
You've got a lot of nerve.
I've never.
You've got a
believed
lot
that
of
I would
nerve.
get
Your
something
children
for
should
nothing.
not. Your children are not going to be proud of you after today. Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $29.50. That's all. Step out.
24-year-old Nicole Johnson is suing her neighbor, 23-year-old Sally Jones, for the cost to fix her car. Nicole claims Sally's son, 5-year-old Darian, scratched her paint job with rocks.
Miss Johnson, your complaint is that Miss Jones's son, that would be this little tyke over here, vandalized your car with some sort of an implement. You want her to pay for the damage. Miss Jones says, well, she's not sure if her son did it. And if he did it, he had an accomplice of similar age. And why aren't you suing the accomplice too? That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Miss Jones, let me ask you this question. If you believe that your son was responsible for part of the damage, you would acknowledge that and would be prepared to pay for part of the damage. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
What proof do you have that Miss Jones's son, because you didn't see it, vandalized your car?
I have a witness who says she saw him do it.
Okay. When did this happen?
July 11th at approximately 7:30, 8 a.m.
And the witness that you had would be this little girl?
Mm-hmm.
And she's 5?
Yes.
Whose child is she?
One of our other neighbors. Her name's Angela Twyman.
And what's her name?
Michaela.
Michaela, would you like to come up and talk to me?
Okay. You all right? Okay.
Hi, Michaela. Do you know who I am? You don't know? Do you know why you're here? And you don't know why you're here. Who did you come with today? Oh, I see this is going to be interesting. Do you know this little boy? Is he a friend of yours? Do you know Miss Jones? Is she a neighbor of yours? Can you talk? Can you tell me your full name? Let me hear.
Michaela.
And what's your last name, Michaela?
Michaela and Timon.
Do you want to talk to me about what happened with Miss Johnson's car? You want to tell me what happened? Okay, tell me what happened.
He spit on the car.
He spit on the car? Did you see him do that? Did you see him do anything else to the car, Michaela? What else did you see him do?
He scratched it.
What did he scratch it with?
A rock.
Did you see him with the rock in his hand? Did you have a rock in your hand? Was anybody else with him when he had the rock in his hand?
No.
But you're sure you saw him scratch the car with a rock? After you saw him scratch the car, Michaela, did you go and tell anybody? Who did you tell?
His parents.
His parents? Oh, did you tell them right away? Okay. You can go and sit down now. Thank you. Michaela came and told you that about that?
No, ma'am.
She never came and told you about it?
No, ma'am.
Did she tell you?
I called. I assume that from the way the marks are, they're huge, just circles, scribbles, they're all at very low positions. I assumed it was a child, and I assumed that if I asked enough children, one of them would tell on the other. So I called her parents and I said, you know, later on today when the kids are home, please ask them if they saw anyone playing around Miss Nikki's car. And in the background, I could hear her say, I did, I saw Darian. And her mom said, well, will you do me a favor? Will you go outside and on Mommy's car, will you touch the spots that you saw him touching on Miss Nikki's car? And she said, okay, she's touching the hood, the driver's side door, and the passenger door on the same side as the driver's side. And she said, is that right? And I said, yeah, that's exactly where the damage is.
Tell me your name.
Darian.
Darian, I want you to come up here and sit up here and talk to me. Trouble, a handful.
Yes, thank you. I do know that.
A handful.
Okay. Tell me, Judy. Okay.
Me and Michaela did it.
You and Michaela both did it? Well, tell me how that happened, Darian.
Me and Michaela had rocks.
Well, how many rocks did you have in your hand?
One.
And where did you get the rock from?
Off the ground.
And what about Michaela? Did she have a rock too?
Yeah.
So why did you decide to scratch Miss Johnson's car?
I don't know.
Well, does your mom have a car?
Yeah, gray.
Hmm?
Gray.
She has a gray car. Darian, if you saw children scratching your mother's car, would you be angry with them? Because that's not the right thing to do, right? And your mommy would be very upset that somebody scratched her car, wouldn't she? She would be sad. Are you ever going to do that again? Because you know you can get into trouble for doing that to other people's property, right? How many marks did you make on the car? And how many marks did Michaela make on the car? So you made more marks than Michaela. Did Michaela make bigger marks than you or littler marks than you? She made smaller marks than you. Show me with your hands how big were the marks that you made on the car. Big ones. And she made little ones. Is that right? She made little ones, and show me your size. The ones you made were bigger ones. Now, when your mom asked you about Miss Johnson's car, did you tell her the truth right away?
My dad.
You told your dad the truth right away? And what did you tell him?
I scratched it.
And when did you tell your mom and your dad that Michaela was there too?
I didn't tell him. I only told my dad.
When did you tell your dad that Michaela was there too? Did you tell him right away, or did you tell him later?
Right away.
Okay. Go and step down. I have a feeling you did a little more damage than Michaela did, but my sense is that Michaela was there. Made a few little marks. Miss Johnson, I know that you don't like to believe it, but cute little Michaela scratched your car. She didn't do as much damage as this little guy did. And in his own 5-year-old way, he really told me the truth about that, because I don't know how many scratches were on the car, but clearly he said he did more than she did. And when I asked him, you saw, how big were her scratches? He said, well, they were really teeny. Mine were bigger. Well, one gets the sense that at least he's telling the truth, that there was some co-participation.
And she said that she helped him wipe them off with the spit so that he wouldn't get into trouble. That's what she told her mom.
Oh, okay.
She said, he spit all over the car and I helped him rub them off, but they weren't coming off.
Okay. So you get it. That Michaela's folks have to be responsible for some of the damage to the car.
I also have rental car receipts because they said it's going to take 4 to 5 days. So I have $182.04 because they won't do it on the weekend, not all of it, and I work about 45 minutes from home.
Okay.
So I have a rental car receipt for $182.04.
$422, that's half. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $422. Thank you.
Parties are excused.
Smart but a handful, Miss Jones.
Thank you.
24-year-old Kimberly Forsyth is suing Charles Taylor for fraudulently representing himself as a divorce attorney. She is asking for the return of his fee.
Ms. Forsyth, it is your claim that the defendant fraudulently held himself out to be an attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
You gave him money in order to help you procure a divorce from your husband, and the papers were never properly filed according to you. You want your money back.
Yep.
Mr. Taylor says that he never told you he was a lawyer. He was trying to help you out and do you a favor, and he did everything that he was supposed to do, and you're entitled to no money back. How did you meet him?
Actually, I had seen one of his signs posted up on a telephone pole.
Can I see it,
and
please?
during the time, I was being evicted, so I originally contacted him to help me with an eviction.
Okay, just a second. Shh. Is this your sign, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. So you called him, and did he help you?
Yes, just as he promised. And shortly after that, I had contacted him to assist me in my divorce. And he said he could help me out. He did family law.
Did he have an office that you went to previously?
I never went to the office, no. He always came and met me places.
How much did you pay him the first time?
The first time, I believe it was $375.
For the eviction?
For the eviction, yes.
Now, when you called him and told him that you'd had a family law problem, did he indicate to you that he did that sort of work?
Yeah.
What did he say?
On the business card that I had, it listed family law as one of his services.
Do you have a copy of the business card?
I don't have the original business card that he gave me, but I do have a copy.
I'd like to see it.
And it does state attorney at law.
Where did you get this copy from?
On my contract, that address right there, when I went there looking for him when I was trying to get my money back, the leasing manager there, she gave me the copy of that business card. But that's the exact same business card that I had.
You recognize this card?
No, Your Honor, I don't. No.
Is this a copy of your contract, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And, Your Honor, I do have...
This says it is understood by all parties that Inland Valley Legal Service staff members are not practicing attorneys at law.
Yes. I read that after the fact, and then I saw his card, and I said, well, to myself...
No, you don't have his card. You have something that you claim somebody else gave
Exactly.
you, so you can throw that away. That's nonsense.
And Your Honor,
That's nonsense.
But I wanted to prove that he was also giving this business card to other people.
Listen to me. If you had the business card, that would be one thing.
I know.
But you don't.
I lost it.
And this is something that somebody else gave you.
Yes, ma'am.
and Your Honor, if I may...
You may not. I'm not finished yet. Now, so what you're telling me is you didn't read this before you signed it?
No, I did. And when I saw his business card that said attorney at law, I presumed, I know that is very wrong, but I presumed that he was the supervising attorney for Inland Valley Legal. And when I confronted him about what it says where his signature is at, the staff representative, why it didn't say attorney at law, he said it was a typographical error that his assistant made.
Your Honor, that's not true.
So, according to this, it says that you're signing on for these people, to paraphrase, to do all the paperwork for you, but they are not lawyers. You understand that they are not lawyers. They cannot represent you in court as lawyers. That you will be appearing pro se, which means yourself. Now, he was supposed to get papers together. Did he get the papers together for you?
He did, and he did not.
Just a second. Got the papers together for you.
Semi.
What do you mean semi? The only thing that wasn't done, according to what I read, was the fact that he prepared the papers for you for your divorce, but your husband is in prison. Is that right? And that it's very difficult to serve someone in prison because you have to go through a whole process. You have to serve the warden of the prison, you have to serve the commissioner of corrections, all of that stuff. That's not something he was doing. That was something he told you to do. That's what he says.
No. That is something he told me to contact the prison, get the information where he needed to send it to, which I did. I told him that it needs to be sent to the litigation coordinator in the prison, and he sends me a proof of service by mail by the third time I went to court and said the first one didn't have the correct address on it, and the second one he had taken in there and wrote in there the rest of the information. And he said he was going to handle all of that for me.
Now I got it. So the problem was that the papers were never properly served on your husband.
Exactly.
And in order for you to be divorced, he has to be properly served.
Of course.
So now let us assume that if she didn't read these papers,
Okay.
that's her problem. That you've clearly made out in the papers that you are a staff representative, not the attorney in charge.
That's right.
If she doesn't know how to read, that's not my problem, that's not your problem.
Exactly.
Okay. My problem is you undertook, and I believe her, to have these papers properly served on the defendant. You undertook to do that, at least on 2 separate occasions. What happened?
Well, by me not actually being an attorney during the divorce...
And I want you to understand something, sir. I'm smarter than she is. So if you're going to give me a lot of who shot John,
Oh, no, I'm going to make it very brief.
annihilate you.
I'm going to make it very
I'm going to
brief.
annihilate you.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right? So don't try to smooth talk me like you can smooth talk them. It doesn't work. Okay. Right? I don't need anything from you, and I don't like you. Do you understand? Because I think that you take advantage of people.
Okay.
But let us see if you took advantage of this lady. Okay. Let's go. You tried to serve him once, and you had the wrong address, correct?
No, Your Honor.
Go.
When we went down to the court to file the documents for the divorce, I gave Miss Forsythe all of the copies of the documents in order for her to have her husband served because she informed me that he was incarcerated. I informed her that it would be impossible for me to serve him by him being incarcerated because the only person that would be able to go to the prison would be an actual attorney to see this man.
That's not true.
Well, that was my understanding.
Well, that's why you shouldn't be giving out legal advice, sir. That was your last mistake. That was your last mistake. That was legal advice that you just gave her without looking it up in the books. Because every jurisdiction has a provision for how prisoners are to be served. And you don't have to be his wife in order to serve him.
Exactly.
And you don't have to be his lawyer in order to serve him. That's what you have process service for, or you have proper service that can be done by mail. You may serve in person the commissioner of prisons. You may serve the warden of the prison. Do you understand, sir? So you gave her legal advice. And by giving her legal advice, you practiced law without a license. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Wasn't that simple?
Yes.
Now you're going to give her back her money. How much money did she pay you?
I believe she paid me a total of $325.
How much money did you pay her?
$425. You have the receipts.
$425. $425. You have to give that back to her, sir, because by making that simple statement to her, here are the papers, you have to have them served because somebody has to go up there and serve him personally because I can't go up there. You gave her advice, and it was wrong advice. Just prepare the papers. That's what you're entitled to do.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $425.
Thank you.
Annie Linares is suing her former friend, Jamil Rivera, for the remaining payments on a 2005 Nissan Altima.
Ms. Linares, you purchased a car. Shortly after you purchased the car, you realized you couldn't afford the car. Something happened with your job. I don't know. Mr. Rivera was a friend of yours. He had a very expensive car that he was renting, and so you worked out an agreement with him that he would take over the payments on your car and he would drive it. And within a period of time, a year or so, he would get a loan in his own name, put the car in his name, and you would be out of the debt that you had on the car. According to your complaint, Mr. Rivera paid for a while, then stopped paying, and the car was repossessed. You want the money that it will take to get the car back from the finance company.
That is correct.
Mr. Rivera says he was merely helping you out and you were going to lose the car anyway.
That is correct, Your
What
Honor.
kind of car is it?
It's a Nissan Altima 2005 Touring Series.
What were the monthly payments on the car?
$491.05.
How many payments did you make on the car?
I bought it in April. My first payment was in June, and I paid July and August and September.
And then Mr. Rivera took over?
That is correct.
What month did you take the car?
On July.
What month did you make your first payment?
On July.
She said she made 4 payments. She paid June, July, August, and September. She made 4 payments.
No, she didn't.
You have proof that you made 4 payments?
I made payments with my check for the car. The time he took the car was in September, and I recall it very well, Jamil, because my daughter's birthday was September 22nd.
Listen to me. Don't talk to him. Okay? Talk to me. Let's say he took the car in September. When did you stop making payments on the car?
Stop making payments around May.
Did you make all of the payments consistently? Because she has all the paperwork. So did you make all the payments consistently from September of '04, at least, until May of '05?
Yes, Your Honor. There were some of them were late.
How late?
A month.
Well, that's a lot late. That's not
correct,
late.
Your Honor.
Late is a day or 2 or maybe
Right.
a week. Late
Correct.
is not when you have to double up payments.
Correct.
You bring me proof that you made those payments?
No, I don't have the proofs right now because I was rushed to the airport.
What, are you kidding me? If you don't have proof, sir, it doesn't exist. What you do is when you know you're being sued, you gather up all your stuff and you don't go to court until you have it. When were you notified of your court appearance, sir?
Approximately 2 weeks ago.
So I'm going to repeat again, Mr. Rivera. If you don't have the proof that you paid from September '04 until May of '05, it doesn't exist. When did he stop making payments?
The last payment was made on May of '05 for $900, and the check of June and July bounced.
So when did you last have the car in your possession?
In November '05.
Well, if you last made a payment, according to you, in May of '05, what were you doing with the car in your possession in November of '05?
At that time, I did call the company, and I called the dealership as well.
I don't care if you called the king of pro. What were you doing with the car in your possession, sir, if you didn't make payments May, June, July, August, September, October, 6 months? You had the car and didn't make a payment.
Go ahead, Jamil, explain to her.
Mr. Linares, if you talk out of turn again, I'm going to throw you out. You want me to do that?
No, ma'am.
Well, I will. I will. You did the wrong thing. Say, I was wrong, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I didn't do the right thing to her because we had an agreement and I didn't follow through with my agreement, and there was no excuse for it because if I couldn't afford the car, I should have returned it to her in May.
Well, she acknowledged that.
Listen to me. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. If I couldn't afford the car, I should have returned it to her in May.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's better. Now, how much do they want now for
Well,
you to get the car back?
They want the 6 months that I
That's
owed.
$29.46.
They want the late fees, delinquency, and collection charges.
You have a paper from them? You driving another car now, Mr. Rivera?
At this point, yes.
What kind of car are you driving now?
It's just a Honda Passport.
Where'd you get it from?
It's just a car that I lent from a family member.
What kind of work do you do?
I work in a bank right now.
In a bank? Doing
Yes,
what?
ma'am. Financial advisor.
You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it a national bank?
Yes, ma'am.
There that you work in a bank, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,700. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Carolyn Tennant is suing her son's friend, 22-year-old Jeffrey Holly, for stealing her golf cart and damaging it while driving drunk.
Miss Tennant, this young man was a friend of your son's?
Yes, ma'am.
You all went camping together?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had a golf cart that sort of takes you to and from, I guess,
Yeah.
a lake or shopping or whatever.
Well, it's like the major mode of transportation out there.
And other people have golf carts. Mr. Holly took your golf cart without your permission.
Correct.
And he was drunk.
Yes.
You agree with that?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And he had an accident.
Yes.
Your golf cart was damaged.
Correct.
And the golf cart of the other people was damaged.
Yes, ma'am.
The other people sued you as the golf cart owner.
Yes.
Successfully.
Yes.
And do you believe that Mr. Holly has the responsibility of compensating you for both that judgment
Yes.
and the damage to your golf cart?
Correct.
Mr. Holly says that it wasn't his fault
Yes, ma'am.
and he should have been able to go to court and prove that, and since he didn't have that opportunity because you proceeded without him, he's not responsible. Did I identify your position, Mr. Holly?
Yes, ma'am, you did.
I have to find out a little bit about you, sir. Age,
Age 22.
occupation,
Basement waterproofing and foundation wall rebuilds.
number of times arrested.
Since I turned 18, 3 times.
For what?
Disorderly conduct, a malicious assault, and unauthorized use of heavy equipment.
Were you drinking during any one of those 3 arrests?
Yes, ma'am, the disorderly conduct.
Now, have you ever had convictions for any of those things?
Yes, ma'am.
Ever go to jail?
Yes, ma'am.
For how long?
I did 1 week, and then I got out on a signature bond.
Are those cases over?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Holly, you and booze don't get along, sir.
Yes, I agree, ma'am.
Do you want to tell me what happened with Miss Tennant's golf cart?
Yes, ma'am, I do. That night, it was Memorial Weekend, you know, and there was a bunch of us out there together, and, you know, everybody being of age recently, we all decided, you know, we were going to get drunk and have a good time. They have dances at the barn, whatnot.
You know that you don't have a good time when you get drunk.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that,
You really understand
ma'am.
that. You know, most of the time you don't remember. Most of the time you act stupid. Most of the time you get sick afterwards. You really have a much better time if you're sober. That doesn't mean you can't drink. That just means that you have a better time if you're not drunk. Right.
Yes, ma'am.
But you got drunk.
Yes, ma'am.
And?
And I decided to take the golf cart keys from the top of the freeway. There was people driving it all day, and most of the night, I figured, why not? You know, I mean, we were just going to go around the block and come right back. There was another golf cart passing, filled with some people that lived down at the next camper down, and I thought they were going to stop, and I guess they thought I was going to stop, and it didn't work out that way.
So?
So I ran into the side of them. They proceeded to get off the golf cart and just completely make an enormous deal of it. I mean, they're golf carts. They don't go over 10 miles an hour.
No, they go faster than that.
And during all this, I mean, everything started getting out of control. People were yelling at each other. One of the ladies on the golf cart, her fiance decided to sucker punch me. Then I was held from defending myself once I found out in that township I could legally defend myself once somebody put their hands on me. I was held from defending myself. And I mean, why couldn't I get any, you know, closure on that? Because I did make a police report on it, and I figured
You
not
wanted closure. Tell me how you wanted to get closure.
We were going to make a deal. My brother was going to give the guy $1,500 for his golf cart.
No. I'm talking about you wanted to get closure from being sucker punched, you said.
Yeah, either a chance to defend myself at that moment in time,
to
or
punch him? You wanted to punch him back.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were prohibited from doing that. How, sir?
Because Alan Reining grabbed me and basically pushed me backwards and bear hugged me and wouldn't let me.
Wouldn't let you punch him back.
Yes, ma'am.
And that would have given you closure.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been watching too many psychological programs that seem to be proliferating in daytime television, sir. Not everything gives you closure. You usually refer to the fact that you want closure when somebody in your family dies. You go and visit them and you say, now I have closure. You know, I've seen them, I've said goodbye. Closure is not usually a thing that one refers to, punching somebody back. That doesn't give you closure. Mr. Holly, you're a very polite young man. Do I make you nervous?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that why you're sweating?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Did it make you nervous when you appeared before the other judges?
Not really.
But I scare you.
Yes, ma'am.
That is a really, really good thing. I've not had a particularly good day today. That is the only thing that's made my day today. The fact that I make you nervous enough to sweat. You owe Mrs. Tennant money. You owe her the money that she spent or will spend to fix her golf cart. And you owe her the judgment that was entered against her for the accident you had when you took her golf cart without permission. Because if you go back, Mr. Holly, these are the objective facts. I'm not going to really scream and yell at you because you've been so polite. I'm going to say it easily so you can get my drift. A, you were drunk. You should never have gotten behind the wheel of any instrument that was moving because you weren't exercising good judgment. B, you got behind the wheel of it without permission. So in effect, you stole it. You had an accident. You're responsible to reimburse her for any out-of-pocket expenses that she had. And her out-of-pocket expenses were?
$1,782.50.
$1,782.
And 50 cents.
And 50 cents. That's your liability, Mr. Holly. That's your legal responsibility. And if you don't want to incur that kind of obligation, you're not supposed to get drunk and act stupid so that you really don't know what's going on. You're not supposed to take people's property without permission. You're not supposed to get behind something that goes even 10 miles an hour when you're drunk. All of those things you did. Just say, it's going to make you feel better, and you're going to stop sweating. It's my fault.
Really,
it's
man,
my fault. I was drunk. I took your property. I caused you aggravation. I'm sorry. I will make you whole. And if you can't do that, Mr. Holly, I will. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,782.50.